What's up? What's up? Yeah, it's edutainment hour. We might rock for more than an hour. We might rock for 3, 4, 5, 15. We could do a marathon. This time is ours. Right? Let's get it popping. Your boy Uncle Cat, that's my #1 fan. Your first I met a debate, I put it in your hand. Your niggas never been out of America, Penang, Khartoum, I'm the man of Sudan. Now watch me do my end zone dance. Is that your friend home? It depends on chance, and my pen gone. Where your old homies at? Oh, they been gone. The bearers shoot like Genesis. I ain't even keeping the score. These are scrimmages. Look at them attached to smash these appendages. That's why you ain't got no content. Every show you do, you steady talking about my shit. At your last show, Brick, it really wasn't it. You said Jabari stole the debate and threw a fit. I'm in Rock Squad, everybody see the split. And Magi the only ones left in this bitch. That's why I took the Facebook group from you. And you ain't try to tell nobody that. He like a fiend, get robbed and be cool as long as don't nobody know. Yeah, that's how he act. Pip squeak pipe down. You ain't got no scholars, but you said you got you wiped down. Juju got you wiped down. Gozy got you wiped down. It's like your show. I'm killing pseudos right now. And you can't read that metal letter that I write down. Then I prove him and mean black people, they tight now. Said I smack your ass, bully, don't wanna fight now. Few of these, give a nigga Z's with the nightgown. And teach a nigga about the smack migration. Had atheist dudes pouring black libations. Cause the Mac tried patience, but they acted like they hard-headed. So fuck it, they could all get it. That's right, I'll bust your pinata, act like Nepal said it. Y'all edit up videos that give your dog credit. Authentic author, carcinogenic artist. Y'all should caution your authors. It's been a minute since I checked these feminine minutes. They timid with it, it's Magi for life. And Kemet winning, unlimited images invented by him and women. Celestial pools of life, and I'm swimming in them. Finna kill them, they snakes, they ain't got no venom in them. Really never watch their shows, I'm done dealing with them. When I hear your voice, it's hard to feel a nigga. Sister Naya wrote your book and it was 30 pages. Hey, they jealous of Jabari. The Magi bring the ladies and the fellas to the party. Just embellishing my intelligence, hell if I be Gotti. Magi just caught a body. Oh no, and they ain't got no recourses. Get them on their show when they won't show sources. 350Z is dropped, it got horses. Little niggas tripping, should've stayed on their porches. Y'all ride poor, my nigga, we ride Porsches. Y'all Wikipedia scholars, we take courses. And the experts agree with me. Kemet on trial, wasn't nothing but G's with me. Brought my New York niggas out. Kemet straight black, yeah, you know what this shit about. Check the pinky, bro, who wearing the ring. If you see me in the streets, bitch, salute the king. I wouldn't pity a thing, I'm like Idi Amin. My committee sent me defending with the wittiest schemes. Hideous schemes, really it's the silliest thing for you to think that you could get me. On this mic, I'm more like Don Cornelius. Raise your hand if you never done an encore. I write the rhymes DJs drop bombs for. Sitting low, hitting grass with the blade spinning. That's a lawnmower. Y'all should hang that up. That Karakuni interview don't even bring that up. I mean, this the type of nigga steal Moringa from Chief X. When you strung out, stealing is a reflex. I'm killing them, they don't want no beef next. I'm the Bruce Lee of the loose leaf text. If I do seem vexed, I'm in a new clean test, getting charged up while you're boosting next. Hey. Smash just killed the whole pseudo killers. 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 Smash just killed the. What's up? What's up? What's up? Peace. We just getting started. I'm just like to play, you know, a few tunes before we get it in. I'm gonna let one more clap, then we about to get right to it. So don't even trip. What's up with you? Everybody out there, I hope everybody doing good. Let me see. You know. Hey, let's play this other blapper right here. I know you don't smoke no more, family, but you were very high. Trying to run up on Smash. Them boys fought they fight, had an illiterate leader, that's why they thought they right. I know you ain't back fucking with cracks, but you was tripping saying Egyptians wasn't black, bruh. Got your mask cracked, my Karakuni. She said they definitely were black. Your face looked like it. You forgot to take your DoorDash order out of the backseat. You was very high. They want to talk to Egyptologists. You show me a degree and don't show me what college it is. And even though you was a crack fiend, bruh, still know you was a black king, bruh. While I was rocking stages with my crew in 92, cause that's my occupation, bruh. You got arrested on the stump in Baltimore, hella distant. Very high. Man, don't make me pull out this paperwork. If that's your hypothesis, nigga, make it work. And when you said 8 or 13%, you meant 8 out of 13 STRs, boy. Yeah, your mans went and messed that up. You're not a leader, boy, you never could compare my king. See that crown, boy, never could wear that thing. You want sources? Nigga, let me share my screen. Hey, Ruth, you know what I'm talking about, Hori. You was high. Go on, say something, man, hold on, man. When you come in the building, and no matter who you is, just go and say what's up one time, help the stream get out so we can get it circulating, percolating. Get it popping. I'm just chilling, though. I didn't even put no title up. I put Edutainment because I'm just feeling chilling. What's up with the people? Peace. Yes, sir. I just be laughing. I'll just be chilling. I was sitting here watching videos. There was somebody breaking down that Stephen Miller at Charlie Kirk's memorial. They was breaking that down. Just, you know, just breaking the speech down. I think it was, I forgot the brother name who was doing it, but he was getting it in. I ain't tripping. Edutainment. So I'm gonna start off, we're gonna go through the old reels. All the anybody new come through popping up. What's up with Mike White? Good seeing your boy. Claude in the building, what's up? That reminds me of that New York got all the gang. That's that same beat that sound like. But let's see. Go through some of these.
So the first question I have for you, my brother Ngozi. Chief X recently did a presentation on my channel claiming that the ancient Egyptian people were not black. Do you agree or disagree with him?
No, I disagree. The Egyptians were black. No, I disagree. The Egyptians were black.
Final words is not to play. They're not talking about damn Egyptians.
Y'all want to see a dead body?
If you got a Nubian cattle culture, pottery and all that shit that migrated from, and language that migrated from north of Egypt, like, what are you trying to say, though? It tells you all that.
At what point did ancient Egyptian culture become distinct?
That's not the point we making. We saying that what it became what it came out of.
Nobody denying what it came out of.
That's normally how cultures survive. I know, but that's so it derived out of a nappy head group of motherfuckers. So it derived out of a nappy head group of motherfuckers. So it derived out of a nappy head group of motherfuckers.
You ain't smoking weed as long as I did. Don't smoke crack as long as I did.
I know you don't smoke no more, family, but you were very high. Trying to run up on Smash. Them boys fought they fight, had an illiterate leader, that's why they thought they right. I know you ain't back fucking with cracks, but you was tripping saying Egyptians wasn't black, bruh.
Don't smoke crack as long as I did.
Okay, here we go. I can tell some problems right now. So you said a few things that most people can't even put together in their mind. So I would like to say this. When you say to me that based off of American standards, I automatically say, well, that's colonizing standards. That was the standard set by colonizers and the racist white supremacists. They were very supremacist in their approach to racialize indigenous people and put their own tags on them. So that's the American standard. That am I wrong? Am I wrong in that? I want to make sure
you are not wrong.
Okay, so the museums, the curators say they're indigenous Africans to get away from that, because we know we studied Charles Darwin, right? And he basically said that humans come from Africa first. He's one of the first people to report that, right? And he's basically saying that, you know, skin color can actually range. So we recognize this. And like you said, the patriarchy, I like the way you say that. The patriarchy, right? I like that. And so, but when you make the point to say by American standards they black, I'm cool with that. But when you make the point to say by American standards they black, I'm cool with that. When you make the point to say by American standards they black, I'm cool with that.
I mean, like Smash, plain and simple, is a bona fide rap artist. He started him and his buddy started the Hyro crew. You know what I'm saying? Dedicated, you know what I'm saying, to studying the language, the glyphs. You know what I'm saying? When he comes to these serious, like qualified to challenge the curators. Qualified to challenge the curators. Qualified to challenge the curators. You know what I'm saying? In museums. All right?
Many months later.
When it was time to call your mother name, I did that. When it was time to call your mother name, I did that. I did that. Now all of a sudden when the experts come into play, oh, I agree with them. How? Then why would we have argued? Well, we wasn't talking about race, but what the hell was we talking about? What is their stance? Do y'all know? Because if the stance is that the Egyptians call themselves black people, every single expert we brought said different. Every single expert they brought said different. They said no, they never called themselves that.
As far as a name, an ancient Egyptian having a name can, and it happened not infrequently that the ancient Egyptians would have either a name or a nickname. More commonly, I think a nickname can. So like there's a guy like Pepi Ankh. His name is Pepi Ankh, the pharaoh, may the pharaoh Pepi live. It's the name itself is a reference to the king, and may actually have not been his original name. It might be a name that he adopted as a priest of a dead king, or as a government functionary under a living king. But so he would have that name Pepi Ankh, and then at the end it's Kem, the black.
What is their stance? Do y'all know? Because if the stance is that the Egyptians call themselves black people, every single expert we brought said different. Every single expert they brought said different. They said no, they never called themselves.
So he would have that name Pepi Ankh, and then at the end it's Kem, the black, the black, the black, the black.
The stance is that the Egyptians call themselves black people. Every single expert we brought said different.
He would have that name Pepi Ankh, and then at the end it's Kem, the black. The ancient Egyptians were big on nicknames. They were big on changing their names when they had a change in life circumstance, adding a name that reflected something about who they were as people. A man would have, or a woman might have a name, and then what they called a good name, a ren nefer, that we translate loosely as kind of a nickname. And so for a lot of people, Kem was their nickname, and it probably, or could have, possibly at least, referred to the fact that their skin and hair were darker than their average neighbor. Or their skin, probably. Most Egyptians seem to have black hair.
Because the stance is that the Egyptians call themselves black people. Every single expert we brought said different.
You could either say it's Ta-Kemi is short for Ta-Kemit. Again, so the black feminine and then we know it's clearly feminine there because we have the ta instead of a pa. So then Kemi would probably originally have had a feminine ending. But again, this is not Kemeti, but Kemit. So the black female one as opposed to the one that belongs to that which is black.
Mm-hmm. As far as a name, an ancient Egyptian having a name Kem, and it happened not infrequently that the ancient Egyptians would have either a name or a nickname. More commonly, I think a nickname Kem.
And then over here, this is how many times we found people calling themselves Kim on different stelae all over the place.
But it would have been a name that described some aspect of who they were.
When you make the point to say by American standards they black, I'm cool with that. When you make the point to say by American standards they black, I'm cool with that.
Don't misunderstand me. I am not saying that the ancient Egyptians were not black as we Americans perceive it. They were. The way we define black with mixed race one drop rule, the way we define black as a positive thing, the Egyptians were black. Not maybe all of them according to our definition, but certainly most of them. And if you go to modern day Egypt today and you go to a place like Luxor down in the south, you'll be like, these people are black in our definition, our American definition of what black is, Jamaican definition of what black is. Yes, they are.
But my stance has been very clear. But when you make the point to say by American standards they black, I'm cool with that. Loser.
It ain't even over.
Basically trying to get an understanding of how do you, like, you see the glyph with the two people sitting and the three marks underneath, right? And like how would you how would you translate that in that script?
The last word.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the three short strokes they represent basically plurality, because number 3 is a number of multitude, plurality. So it's a marker to indicate a plural term.
And like, so when you read it in totality, how do you read it, like, in a sense, like the people of the black land, or
just read so it will be, the noun will be pronounced Kemet. So Egyptians, the writing system, have signs that present sound and signs that present meaning. So in this case, sound, Kemet, is represented by this sign. You can't see my cursor, but this little sign represents the scale of a crocodile. So it's represent the color black, and the little half spherical
moon under there.
Yeah, that is a feminine marker, T. So Kemet, that's represents, these two signs represent the sound of how to pronounce this word. And they're also the seated men and women, behind these sounds. They represent the meaning of this word. So you see that, words with these, ideograms, they represent groups of people. And
for all y'all can't think for yourself and read for yourself, while direct proof in the form of an explicit statement may be lacking, the cumulative evidence from the hieroglyphic inscriptions, linguistic analysis, cultural context, and symbolic meaning strongly supports the interpretation of Kemet as the black man in Egyptian texts. This interpretation is widely accepted within the field of Egyptology and proves an invaluable insight into the ancient Egyptian geography, language, and culture.
But again, going back to now your question about whether we should translate Kemet as the land of Egypt, you're quite correct here in saying that there's nothing clearly in this word or in kind of attestations of this word to say the land of versus Egypt. What this literally says is that which is black. What this literally says is that which is black.
Now, when the scholars and they've all came to a consensus of somewhat what you told me, then the question is, what is which black? You know what I'm saying? And it comes down to, again, the people of the story. So I'm going to leave the people thinking along a bit and try to see what scholars leaned on besides secondary sources to come to the conclusion that the blackness that this referred to was the Nile silt.
Every single expert we brought said different. Every single expert they brought said different. They said no.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the, unfortunately, I think one of the major conclusions or one of the major influences here is there is a racist element. But there's not one text that I can point you to that specifically says, by Kemet, we mean the black silt.
But then you got shot. Now you's a base head. You're all messed up, man. Your life is cracked.
man. I know I look like stir-fried shit. Man, I know that. Man, y'all hook me up with some food, man. Come on,
Look,
man.
man, there's a line. You gotta wait. Look, will you get this man something to eat, please?
Oh, yes, yes.
I know you don't smoke no more, family, but trying to run up on Smash. The boys fought they fight, had an illiterate leader, that's why they thought they right. I know you ain't back fucking with cracks, but you was tripping saying Egyptians wasn't black, bruh. Got your mask cracked by Kara Cooney. She said they definitely were black, your face looked like it. You forgot to take your DoorDash order out of the back, so you was very high. Bruh, you they want to talk to Egyptologists. You show me a degree and don't show me what college it is. And even though you was a crack fiend, bruh, still know you was a black king, bruh. While I was rocking stages with my crew in 92, cause that's my occupation, bruh. You got arrested on the stump in Baltimore, hella distance.
Yeah, don't smoke crackers on out there.
Don't make me pull out this paperwork. If that's your hypothesis, nigga, make it work. And when you said 8 or 13%, you meant 8 out of 13 STRs, boy. Yeah, your mans went and messed that up. You're not a leader, boy, you never could compare my king. See that crown, boy, never could wear that thing. You want sources? Nigga, let me share my screen. Hey, Rue, you know what I'm talking about, Hori. You was high.
They don't smoke crackers on out there.
Yeah, this the good old days, boy. Edutainment hour, y'all know how we do. Peace to the people in the building. We just looking over videos where we use entertainment, comedy, and everything to teach people stuff that they wouldn't even look at if we wasn't doing that. Feel me? We'll take the YouTube bicker. We can put it all together, and what they gonna leave with is some good information. That's what you gonna leave with when you watch the Smash Rockwell show. I am Smash Rockwellington, his elegance. If you don't know how we getting it in, but I see a lot of my good people in the building. What's up with Bag Juice? Brother Reggie, my teacher in the building. Shares Move, what's up? Pan-African James, Camg, what's up? Jay Will, Fat Rock, Hootie. Yes, sir. I see all y'all. And I said Claude already. What's up? Mike White, yeah. Yes, sir. You don't let them off the hook that easy, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with the enemy within. Get on your Trump, Or you're going to knock down all them exterior detractors. Go on and practice on them little clowns that's right in your face talking about who spew the same rhetoric. They might as well be getting $7,000 a post. That's the funnier part. I was trying to tell y'all before it hit the news, but it hit the news already, but I figured it out. Because how they gonna tell us in 2018 that it was foreign interests, Russian bots, that's what we was calling them, affecting our democratic process? As soon as you announce something, you just make it, everybody gonna hop on it. So then other nations, oh yeah, that's what it is, online, this is what it is, we need bots. Now we got all kind of state-sponsored movements going down in our, I ain't saying our playing field, I'm saying the average man, woman, the average American's playing field, right? You write on social media, you write on Instagram, that's where the war is being waged right now. And you could ask leaders of these nations. Benjamin Netanyahu just said that about his Israeli propaganda campaign. But that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about state-sponsored propaganda is live. In effect, it has been, but now it's ramping up. It's ramping up. And what we got going on coming up out of Egypt? State-sponsored attacks on what they label Afrocentrism. So when I say state sponsored, there's money behind that. It's budgets behind that. Objectives, missions, and all that. It's people in the office having meetings about our content. Else, social media would not be the playing field where the war is being waged right now. Because misinformation is getting dismantled in the information age. So I'm talking about the Egyptian state-sponsored. It's called neo-Pharaonism. Neo-Pharaonism. Just Google it. And when I said $7,000 a post, that's what Israel is paying key influencers right now on IG, Twitter, X, whatever, to spew pro-Israel propaganda. $7,000 a post. But y'all over here tearing down y'all own history while there's a state-sponsored event against it, just like Israel trying to say Palestine wasn't there. Y'all helping them for free. That's crazy. That's how you can know who really, really like crazy. Yeah, it's the edutainment hour, so we're going back over some of them key hits from the past few years on this show. That's why you put them in lights, you put them in video, it don't never die. People, brand new people to your channel get to see that it was actually some people on earth tripping like this. Like imagine if you into the knowledge, you into the information, but you just stumbled across this channel and get to see these videos with these dudes acting like this. You'll be like, what part of America they live in? Where is that happening at? But I ain't even gonna filibuster. We gonna keep it popping, we got content.
When Scamming the People Goes Wrong, featuring Bobby Boogers. In this clip, Bobby Boogers wants you to think Smash was not well received by the scholars.
Favorite part of the video right here was Smash. He's on there with a whole chamber of doctors. And this was big up to Smash Scamwell.
As far as my artistry with what I'm learning from you guys, and I want to share a lyric. I'm not going there. I'm just going to say something I think you would enjoy. My last song, I said, melodic script in my cartouche. I rolled through with them newbies, cartouche. Now, I know, see, a few of you might enjoy that because we know how cartouche is who they sent out to get the brothers from the South when they had beef about the 5th or 6th dynasty.
Let's listen to Bobby Boogers' contention with this video.
I want you to notice the nigga ain't got no suit on.
Bobby Boogers is mad. Smash has no suit on.
Oh yeah, he suited up for the white man.
He's suited and booted.
Hold on, let me process this shit.
Like they say, y'all always get the white skulls, but y'all.
He jump on there rapping
He stood up
in a hoodie. Boy, you better go ahead, yo. I got you, yo. Yeah, when it comes to the sisterhood and doctors, all of them yo, this be the perfect time to be three-piece suit up. Three-piece suit up right now. You got about 8 doctors, yo. 8 doctors. 8 doctors, yo.
And women doctors.
Did you notice he only played one clip and didn't really have anything to say? Let's see what Bobby Boogers left out. And if you can confirm what this is in his left nostril, you win a free book.
We go into the terms, Kemet. We do a lot of hard research on these matters. And I just wanted to say, I don't know. I mean, I just wanted to let you know what we're doing. We're not doing it necessarily inside of academia, but the methodology that we learn from following people like yourselves is affecting us. And I don't know if you're following some of this conversation in the social media platform where it's taking a different stage. We have a facet of Black people who are now arguing, wait, the ancient Egyptians were not Black.
Talking about the pseudo killers.
And since it's being pumped into this machine, it's getting a lot more media than a lot of the work that some of us are doing to show the multiplicity or how it was actually in ancient Egypt. And so we find a lot of resistance to what we're bringing forth, but I don't want to filibuster or anything, but I do want to let you know that there are others out here following your work with only the intent to support and to get this conversation to more people.
Thank you, Jonathan. I wanted to ask you, are any of you all connected with the Nubia platform, the K-Nubia platform? Because
I have not heard anyone mention the K-Nubia platform.
Because Mario Beatty is teaching a class on meta nature, and he posts like a whole bunch of sources like every class. So if even if you know just one of y'all join, because it's a subscription based, because it's connected with narrative. Karen Hunter, are you familiar with In Class with Carr?
I'm not familiar with In Class with Carr. I am very familiar with the work of Dr. Mario Beatty. We support his work and even use some of his statements about Kemet.
Well, I mean, he's up to like 50 something lessons, but it's all archived, so you can start at the beginning. And like I said, he uploads attachments for like every class, and it's community based. So you know, almost all the people in there are just non-academics studying meta nature.
Wonderful, thanks for the resource.
Bobby Boogers is a hater. Let's see how they really felt about the bars on Harkuf.
I'm not going there. I'm just going to say something I think you would enjoy. My last song, I said, melodic script in my cartouche. I rolled through with them Nubians, Harkuf. Now, I know, see, a few of you might enjoy that because we know how Harkuf is who they sent out to get the brothers from the South when they had beef about the 5th or 6th dynasty. And so I am trying to let it merge with the art as well so we can get it out with more people. And I know the melodic script has nothing to do with Nubian or no buying. I think you were just
no being. Wait, now, come on now.
I don't know that. Then does it?
It 100% does.
All right, then I'm right on point. All right, thank you.
Dr. Solange Ashby and Dr. Rosetta Cash confirmed Jonathan Owens' lyric to be correct, accurate, and appropriate. Now, let's see when Booger stopped the video.
This is my favorite part of the video right here with Smash. He's on there with a whole chamber of doctors. And this was big up the Smash Scamwell.
As far as my artistry with what I'm learning from you guys, and I want to share a lyric. I'm not going there. I'm just going to say something I think you would enjoy. My last song, I said, melodic script in my cartouche. I rolled through with the Nubians, Harkuf. Now, I know, see, a few of you might enjoy that because we know how Harkuf is who they sent out to get the brothers from the South when they had beef about the 5th or 6th dynasty.
I want you to notice.
I want you to notice where Onk stopped the video.
I want you to notice the nigga ain't got no suit on.
Bobby Boogers has nothing to say.
Oh yeah, he suited up for the white man.
He's suited and booted.
Like they say, y'all always get the white skulls, but y'all.
He jump on there rapping
He stood up
in a hoodie. Boy, you better go ahead, yo. I got you, yo. Yeah, when it comes to the sisterhood and doctors, all of them yo, this be the perfect time to be three-piece suit up. Three-piece suit up right now. You got about 8 doctors, yo. 8 doctors. 8 doctors, yo.
And women doctors.
Women.
What is Robin implying here?
Women. Best thing you do is start rapping.
See where Booger stopped the video?
Shame
He didn't want to show you this. Dr. Ben Levy told Joel Kemet means Black City, and PK's cut it out the video.
So, okay, Kemet means Black City. I would love some content on that. You know, help me to understand what they meant by that. And then Joseph Ben Levy mentioned Kemet to you. I wanted to know.
That was Rosetta, but I'm with you though.
Okay. Rosetta mentioned Kemet to you.
No, either way, I can go with you on that though.
All right, but I wanted to know. The second question is: did they refer to others as Kemet to you, or is that just for those within their, Egypt territory? So that was it.
That's a good question. Well, one of the things that, as a polyglot, I like to say that if you really want to understand what a term means, you have to learn how the people themselves viewed that term in their language, which means that when you see, hieroglyphs, the symbols themselves will tell you what they mean. You know that when you're looking at the word, Kemet, and it has an owl in it, and it has a determinative for city, and it has a determinative for what Diop describes as a crocodile, as a piece of charcoal that's described as a crocodile tail. If you see all these different terms, or the loaf of bread that's a T, when you see those terms, they say what you see is what it is. It's what they call a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. All right, so that whenever you see it written or a form of it written, it always means the same thing all the time. And depending on the context in which it is used, that will determine for you whether or not it may or may not represent people. If it's representing people, it's going to have a determinative for a man and a woman at the end of it, usually with 3 strokes under, meaning more than one. If it's by itself, it could mean something else entirely, depending on what is, because there are many different ways that the word Kim is used. And that depends on, again, what is following Kim. But that's always clear in the language. It's in the glyphs. Oftentimes when we see these things written by people who know no glyphs, or who throw them in some book in English, more often than not, their context is not quite correct. And this is why we advocate for learning the language, learning the glyphs, going out to K-Nubian, studying the glyphs with Dr. Mario Beatty, because he's like an expert. I mean, we got a lot of people who are good at it, but that brother is like really good. All right. And there's several of us who are good. I could teach glyphs. Rosetta could teach some glyphs, but I always say, yeah, I'm good, but Mario was a whole lot better. And I've been studying since 1977, But at the same time, you got to always look at that all the time. It makes a difference. I just got through studying hieratic. And to see Kemet in hieratic, it's like a whole nother different type of flavor of looking at it, and just looking at it straight on, you wouldn't know what it was. And dare say, Solange is, a demotic person. When I see demotic, it just looked like a bunch of scratches and stuff on a piece of paper to me. I don't know what's going on, right? I don't know what's going on, all right?
Some more shit Boogers didn't want you to see.
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to speak and to introduce myself. My name is Jonathan Owens. My latest work is called Black Like Osiris, right? And so I titled it that way on purpose, obviously because it's more marketable. But the overall thesis is to find out what is behind this Black symbolism, this Black reality that has sometimes been written off by Egyptologists. For instance, Kemet means the fertile Nile suit. I can say right now, just from my limited research, that all of us would be pressed to come up with a primary source that says the ancient Egyptians stated it this way.
Bobby Boogers did not want you to know Smash challenged 8 PhDs to come up with a source for the Black Silk claims. Shame.
We go into the terms, Kemet. We do a lot of hard research on these matters, and I just wanted to say, I don't know, I just wanted to let you know what we're doing. We're not doing it necessarily inside of academia, but the methodology that we learn from following people like yourselves is affecting us, and I don't know if you're following some of this conversation in the social media platform where it's taking a different stage. We have a facet of Black people who are now arguing, wait, the ancient Egyptians were not Black.
Smash was talking about the Baltimore booger bully Bobby Blatter. He almost peed on himself last live stream. Peace.
I can't be laughing. This is hella funny though. I like looking back at my work. Don't try to battle nobody on YouTube that owns a video production studio. That just ain't wise, right? Golly, they be like, how you got all them clips? Man, we do this for a living. I be having to go back through hip hop and find out when somebody said something, you know what I'm saying, and really have it documented like right. So this was fun, but this ain't in my heart right now, just so y'all know. I'm laughing at, you know how you look back at something and be laughing? But the feelings that made me kill them dudes like this, that ain't in my heart right now. I'm just looking at this. This is comedy. Yeah. So let's keep it popping. See what you can learn while they keep fumbling and bumbling. They fumbled and bumbled all over the YouTube streets. So bad, I hope this is somebody's first time seeing these videos. So bad they fumbled and bumbled, y'all, that they said their only defense to what this next video was a lie, first of all. They said that these people were not PhDs. Seriously, that was the only way they could refute this information. No, they said they ain't Egyptologists.
A hierarchy of race like that developed by Morton Glidden and still deployed today by white supremacists cannot be sustained if not one but two great Black civilizations arose in Africa at the dawn of history. It is therefore entirely appropriate and even necessary to confront constructions of race for Nubia and Egypt in the recent past and acknowledge both civilizations as African and Black.
So did you face any of that type of backlash or harsh feedback from your stance on ancient Egypt?
So yes, but interestingly, I haven't received any harsh feedback from Egyptologists. When I go around and I give talks on this subject, the Egyptologists who've been in the audience of my talks are very receptive, and they think that this is really important work and that I need to keep forging ahead with it. But I have gotten negative feedback, especially over email from Egyptians. So it's an interesting conundrum where there are some Egyptians who will tell me, I mean, these are people I don't know who are just like finding out how to contact me and send me an email and say, what you're doing is wrong. The ancient Egyptian culture was not a Black culture. Modern Egyptians are not Black people. What you're doing is dangerous. You need to stop saying this, which of course, I'm not going to stop saying this. And I try to explain what my work is about. And I also try to explain, you see, our perspective in America on what Black is different from a lot of the rest of the world. And so I try to explain our American context of that word. But yeah, I've definitely gotten some harsh feedback.
First off, the Egyptians, of course, were African, and we have evidence from Herodotus and other sources that Africans tended to be Black, that they were a range of colors that would constitute Black today, and they were actually, the Greek words that are used for them is Black.
Now, don't misunderstand me. I am not saying that the ancient Egyptians were not Black, as we Americans perceive it. They were. The way we define Black with mixed race one drop rule, the way we define black as a positive thing, the Egyptians were black.
So you're suggesting maybe these people migrated north?
Yes, or their culture did, and them. East to the Nile Valley. East and north.
East and north.
Yeah.
I see. So today in Egypt, the archaeologists often refer to, and I've been there, to connections between ancient Egyptian culture and the Sumerian culture and the Crete culture and the Persian culture. Yet when you visit Egypt, especially around Aswan in the southern part of the Nile, you see mostly black people.
Yes. Yeah. And we know from the anthropological evidence that the people just predating the dynastic civilization in the Nabta Playa region were black African people.
I can sympathize with the impulse to sort of to be very strident, to be very argumentative, to be very certain, to act very certain about the blackness of the ancient Egyptians, because for the longest time, the very longest time, there was this prevailing idea that black is Africa and Africa is less than, right? That no matter what happens, no matter how you cast it, anytime you fall on the wrong side of that dividing line between black and not black, even not between black and white, whatever's coming from that black side is going to be less than. And it took people being willing to challenge that orthodoxy, and sometimes in a very ill-informed way, right? Sometimes, it just took people coming up and going, I feel like this, and so I'm going to say it and make it right. And it turns out they actually were in some ways, right? Because now we can look at Egypt and say the ancient Egyptians are an African civilization. These are people that, by and large, we probably would have looked at and thought, oh, these are black people.
When it comes to the 25th dynasty, a lot of people are going to commonly call them the Black Pharaohs. You see it online, there's books written titled that, so on and so forth. Do you feel like that distinction has to be made? And how I ask that is, I've noticed online, a lot of people don't seem to think that for some reason you could be black and be Egyptian. And I've always kind of disagreed with that, because I feel like even though the ancients weren't colorblind per se, I feel that you could be black and be Egyptian. Would you say that is correct?
Yes, I think so. For instance, as I told you before, this kind of, for instance, of Nubian warriors that were settled in Egypt. At some time, they were living a perfectly Egyptian life, and they collaborated with the Egyptians and so on. I don't know if you have in mind, for instance, it's the representation of people carrying a Colossus statue. There are rows of people, of young people, young soldiers, something like that. And you find Nubians, Egyptians, Libyans, and so on. There was this kind of idea that the local rulers rule, in fact, over say, multicultural society, probably in which the military component was quite important. Military contingents made Nubians of people from Asia, from Libya, and so on. So I think it was perfectly normal that these people, they were black, so they married Egyptians, or inversely, Nubian women, they married Egyptians, and so on. I think there is some evidence, for instance, in the documents of the New Kingdom, of this kind of, of marriage between people from different geographical or cultural or ethnic roots. And I think it was no problem at all. As I said before, they could reach very important positions in the kingdom. And for instance, in the late Bronze Age, it was quite normal that very high, Nubians or very high local position, they built their wonderful and excellent tombs in Egyptian style. They reached important positions in the Egyptian administration, so on. So why not when black people or people from Nubia, they became far out, well, they continue to represent themselves, sometimes with their very distinctive physical characteristics. So it was, I think, no problem at all.
I've worked in prisons now for 18 years. That was my first time I'd been in a prison. And the teacher who picked me up at the stations, she said, well, you are looking at this as Africa. And I was like, well, yeah, of course I am. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, because she said, that's how they, my students see it. And I said, well, how else would they see it? And I remember her looking slightly confused. And then the first sort of interaction I had with one of her students was, he came in the room and he said, ancient Egypt is Africa. And I went, yeah, of course. And I think he thought I hadn't heard him properly. And he said, I said it was like African, as in black African. And I'm like, yeah, and what's your point? And I think it was only really that after that experience that I thought, am I in some kind of bubble here or something? And so I started to actually look into the sort of background, really, the sort of, which we're starting to talk about it a little bit more in terms of colonial approaches, but still not directly the racism that Egyptology is founded upon. And at that point, it was almost like a sort of light bulb moment. I thought, well, why is this still the case when we, are we still stuck, 100 years sort of previously in this kind of racist ideology? Why is nobody challenging this? Because other disciplines had. So anthropology had looked very hard at itself in terms of looking at its colonial kind of past. It just seemed that Egyptology was kind of almost stuck there and it didn't really want to talk about it. So for me, it always was African. It was a bit of a shock to me when I actually started looking a bit deeper into this and then started having conversations with people and seeing how they responded to that.
I think that the further back in history you go, the blacker the Egyptians are. And by black, I don't merely mean dark skin, but also with other Negro characteristics.
You have spent much of your life studying the history of the ancient Egyptians. Who were the ancient Egyptians? How did they look?
Voilà, les Égyptiens anciens ressemblaient à cette terre que vous voyez. Voici le premier roi de la terre.
Here you have the first king of the earth, the very first. And the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, looked like this man.
Cet homme a des traits, si vous voulez, plus, comme nous disons, vous m'aviez dit tout à l'heure de ne pas employer un terme, mais sur le plan scientifique, c'est un terme consacré. En tout cas, il a des traits de la race noire plus marqués que celles de presque tous ceux qui sont ici dans cette salle.
You can see that he has those traits that are associated with the black
feature.
Those features associated with the black race, which are even more pronounced than many of the people here. It was this man who unified the Nile Valley from Upper to Lower Egypt, and this was 3,300 years before Jesus Christ.
Je passe donc, ce que je vais dire avant de passer au suivant, c'est que vous allez le voir donc déjà d'après ses traits et les traits aussi des pharaons qui vont suivre.
You can see by his features and those of the pharaohs and kings that will follow it
que les anciens Égyptiens n'étaient pas des blancs qui seraient devenus progressivement noirs et en perdant leurs traits.
You can see that they were not people that were started as whites and became progressively more black.
Mais qu'au départ, c'était des noirs authentiques qui, à la basse époque, vont se métisser avec des blancs.
They were instead black people, and authentic black people, but which never ceased to be blacks.
Donc, attendez, je dis en un mot. Donc, vous voyez que les anciens Égyptiens étaient des noirs comme tous les autres naturels de l'Afrique, c'est tout.
You can see that the first the Egyptians were black men, like black men that you see in Africa now.
Yeah, that's qualified. I still never just put that video up by itself. I need to just be up for people to share. I was working on my AI. Remember I showed y'all that?
Casual, the best rapper out of Oakland. Casual punchlines hit harder than anybody in the town. Y'all forgot Dev? Y'all tripping?
Y'all know how to pop out AI clips like that?
Casual, the best rapper out of Oakland.
Well, it costs a little bit. You gotta have a small account, but you know, it's worth it.
Oakland. Casual punchlines hit harder than anybody in the town. Y'all forgot Dev? Y'all tripping?
Edutainment hour. What beat I got on deck? It might not sound right though. Last time I listened back to my beats, they was double flanging because I don't know what's coming through the mic line and the audio line. Let me tap in real quick. It was coming through the mic line and the audio line. Someone asked me if I could talk to Sheik and Joke, what would be the first question I asked? I probably wouldn't even ask. I just would listen, bro. Any question I ask would probably be pertaining to something, you know, he said or something. I ain't coming out my face when I'm in the, you know, when I'm around excellence like that, I just gotta be a student. If you say it's time to ask questions, it'll probably be pertaining to how do you come up with the melanin test. Probably something like that. You feel me? That's a good question though. When I first was learning the AI, don't be mad because it's edutainment. When I first started playing with the videos, everything we was talking about doing in the Magi group, we could do that in like a couple hours now, bro. So we need to reconvene. But because the way that technology moves, you know what I'm saying, it's gotten a lot easier to produce these AI videos now that look a whole lot realer. So if you got a story to tell, if you got a script, if you're looking for some content, that's a cool way to go. That was just this little stuff. I made this video one of my first, and it ain't, I mean, you know, I like, so they got styles. This, you know, styles, there's different styles. I was having fun when I did this. It's still edutainment. What you're gonna be learning primarily, that what I tried to hide in this video, is knowledge of, because there's some information black people want to know right now about black history of America prior to colonization and stuff. And a lot of people, you know, there's some people out here just be saying they the black Indians and we was the, you know, y'all know all that talk. I didn't, instead of taking anything away from what they was doing, I just wanted to give a contribution that could push them in a direction that would probably turn out more fruitful. Because I don't know much, and if I don't know much about it, I can't refute it, but I don't know much about, and we only be dealing with primary sources. I know what everybody said in the communiversity, but we don't show where you got that from. But when it comes down to showing people where you got that from, I don't know much about any sources on the Americas prior to Europeans. Like, what is you reading? Like Iroquois or something? Like, what are you reading to know that that was facts? It is text there though, but you know. So, oh yeah, so what I wanted to contribute was the history I've learned about black people moving to the West, because you know America was just them colonies for a minute. But cats would free themselves, from enslavement and wouldn't always go north. Even all the tales, and I'm not gonna get into it right now, but think about it. Even the whole legacy of the cowboy, the outlaw cowboy, it might have been 2 or 3 white ones, but that whole legacy come from black people, bro. Getting up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Slaves running and taking the horses, and you can't even mess with them because they're getting it in. They don't tell us all that, but in my research, I found people who did make it to the West and started living amongst the Indians before America went west. Before America went west, black people was going west. I don't know about Lewis and Clark and Sir Francis Drake, but they didn't blaze all them trails, bro. They didn't bushwhack all them trails. And so, this is people who, if they was in the 1800s and they got out west and took an Indian wife or whatever, then they would have had some seeds, some offspring, and they got a legacy somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's the direction I was pushing them in. But just like I did it, we do it with edutainment. Why? Because I'm an artist. There's different ways you can show people things, not just with text in a book. You can show people things heck of different ways. So I made up a character, just merging a lot of things. And I knew his name is Fremore Jones. And the show was The Adventures of Fremore Jones. And it was actually hot. People be hitting me like, when you gonna make some more Fremore Jones? So at the point, AI confused people. And at the point AI was at that point, it was just not, people wasn't ready. Now, I could do it now, it'll be so raw, bro. You could do it, you can make it look like Pixar movies. But back to the learning, I just was building for a minute, and we're gonna do it with the edutainment. I'm gonna play a part of this. Seems like I only got part 2. I don't know how that is.
Mr. Fremore Jones, you better.
All right, forget it. No. I don't know. So this is episode 2? On the last episode of Tally Ho the dang, man. Did I do 3 episodes? All right, forget it. I ain't even tripping. I just leave, man. Here go part 1. I was about to say, golly. All right, this is a story. Check it out. Of a black cow. See if you learn something. In 1844. Tally ho, tally ho. Some things were done for talent, some things you'll never know. Tally ho, tally ho. He fights for justice and freedom everywhere he goes. Tally ho, sure tally ho. Your kind round these there, white boy. You don't want this smoke. Tally ho, tally ho. Whoa there, Tally. There's some crackers in the background. Well, not too far now, Tally. Calm down, man. Yeah, well, I hear some Mormons paying in gold up in the Negro bar. We're gonna see if we can't tend to that. Come on, girl. Oh, what's this we got here? Seems we caught ourselves one of them whipper crackers.
Mr. Marshall.
It kinda looked like he didn't took a liking to beating on indigenous men.
Okay, Mr. Marshall.
Say there, cracker.
Mr. Marshall, look out.
Well, it looks like we got ourselves a horse-riding nigger, boy.
Is that right?
What you doing around
Get
these
him,
parts?
That was one fast draw.
Like that.
You killed my master. What's the matter with you?
No, shut your
You don't
slave
get
ass
me
up.
killed.
Come on, hop in the coach.
I was likely to say use somebody good Lord.
Keep it low.
I just never seen a Negro use a gun like that.
More crackers around here and all that talking could get us sought out. We need to learn how to shut the fuck up.
Why, I should surely like to know how a Negro gets all these guns in this nice...
You know what? Slave niggas is dead weight. I ain't come this far to get stopped by no one whipper cracker or no bootlicking Negro. Same devilish white boys intend to spread they slave trade out west. And if so, they're gonna have to see free more Joe. Free more Joe. Oh, let me go stop by this ragged ass son. See if I can't find me some dirty Mormons, man.
Hey, Bill, look at this guy.
Howdy.
Hey there.
What you drinking, traveler?
I'll have a whiskey.
One whiskey for the free black guy. Sitting at the front counter.
Yeah, I'm in here.
Cough, cough.
Yeah, tell him Fremore Jones. I shouldn't have no problem around these parts.
Free more
Now
Jones.
check it out. I've got word that Mormons been mining gold up on the Leetonsdorf land.
Yeah?
What you know about that?
Few Mormons have rolled through here.
Is that so?
There's a couple out back.
Well, who's that Negro girl over there slapping on them piano keys?
That fine lady may be Annie Mae Bell. She happens to be the lead Vasqueros at Ranchos Rio de los Americanos.
Rio de los Americanos, huh? Now that's music to my ears. Shit, I was supposed to arrive 3 sundowns from now. Say, white boy.
What may I do you for?
Take these few coins, go on and run over there and scoot to the Negro girl, give her a drink.
Surely.
Tell her it's from Fremore Jones.
Whiskey on Fremore Jones.
Let me go back here and holler at these Mormons in the back. See what they want to do.
No, I'm telling you guys, I've seen it from my own eyes. Well, Fremore Jones. Fremore Jones? Well, if we get our hands on him, partner, I'm telling you, he won't be free no more.
See, what's all this bullshit you heap around, Mormon? I got
Fremore
words
Jones.
Yeah, Fremore Jones. And I got words some of your kind that been running up on Negro bar mining gold.
Well, it don't seem quite that tough of you running up on 3 unarmed Mormons over someone mining up in Negro bar. Yeah, nigga, boy.
Motherfucker, get
To be that. Hey!
Yeah, thought. What, motherfucker? Yeah. What?
That's how you wanna
Fremore
play.
Jones.
You'll see more of us.
What I won't do is see more of your bitch ass.
Oh, my. Mr. Jones, you just shot a priest.
You're lucky I don't kill kids.
Oh,
Bitch ass crackers. Let me roll me a smoke. Just lay your bitch ass there and die.
Mr. Fremore Jones, you better freeze. I'm the sheriff.
Will Fremore Jones make it to Ranchos Rio de los Americanos before the white boys catch him?
Tune into our page this week to follow the adventures of Tally-Ho. Tally-Ho, Tally-Ho. He fights for justice and freedom everywhere he goes. Tally-Ho,
Sure not having your kind round.
Hey there, white boy. You don't want this smoke.
Tally-Ho, Tally-Ho.
Whoa there, Tally. There's some crackers in the back trying to trap us. All right, that was that. Thanks for watching. Hold on, let me put a limiter on this. Let me put a limiter on this thing. When things get too loud, I don't want it to mess up nobody's ears. All right, that was just learning the AI, one of my first ambitions, and I just was gonna sit there until I finished the little story. I was just putting the story together into the Pro Tools or what have you, and then I went into the AI and just wanted to make it. So you probably didn't learn much yet, but one of the key things I said was, I hear there are Mormons mining gold up on the Negro Bar. He also asked who was that young woman, and the man said that she's the lead Vasqueros at Ranchos de los Americanos. What it'll reveal later is Ranchos de los Americanos was a real spot. If you're from California, half of, from like Sac, all of Folsom, 35,000 acres was a land grant given to a black man by the Mexican government. Y'all know him? If you can't remember his name, it's like we could talk about him twice, 3, 4, 5 times a year. Brother name was William Alexander Leidensdorf. He was actually the first person to man a steamship in the California Delta. They was out there in Indian canoes and stuff. He came through talking about, Leidensdorf. He was such a boss. But and so my imagination is filling in the spots on how them brothers made it to the West. So this Fremore Jones, he gonna wind up hooking up with Leidensdorf once he finally all the action is on his way there, so I ain't giving it all up. But he gonna wind up hooking up with Leidensdorf on a place called Negro Bar. And let me show you something, like we often do about this time. All right? Negro Bar, Folsom, California, which now, if you type NEGROBARFOLSOM, it's gonna take you to what? A state park, of course. Because what do we do traditionally in America? Flood out black towns and turn them into state parks. Okay? Remember that, children. So if you click here, it's taking us to California state parks. And notice by some lobby of some sort, probably the Congressional Black Caucus, who gave me that award that you see on my wall back there. They probably was like, yo, y'all gotta change it from Negro Bar to the Black Miners Bar. But if you look at the history, where's the Black Miners Bar? Of course it's underwater. California state parks continue working with the local community and stakeholders, changing the place name of the day use area identified as Black Miners Bar. I told you they changed it. Right? With Folsom Lake State Recreation in Sacramento County. Hey, how you doing? And so if you just looking at this, it say right here, look, it tell you the historical background that I was just talking about. Now check this out. I'm gonna make it bigger. So those want to read along, that's as big as I can make it. The historical use of the name appears in reference to black miners, all right, during the gold rush, but it was before the gold rush. See, San Francisco is what? What's the team for Frisco? The 49ers. So the gold rush is 49. Gold rush is white people. Because 1849, when did slavery end? 1860 or something? You feel me? Something like that, right? Y'all can say it in the chat. When did slavery end in America? Was it 1860? Well, if we talking about 1848, what couldn't no black people rush to no gold? But what you find out is, how did Europeans even hear about it? Well, I won't project there. I could just show you, and it'll show you right here. It says during the gold rush, including from 1850 paper articles noting black miners finding gold in this location in 1848. So you heard about the gold rush, you didn't know it was the rush to go take all the gold that black people found, huh? It says a few years prior to the gold rush in 1844. That's like something about to pop, something gonna pop 4 years from now, but you doing it right now. The area was a part of a Mexican government land grant named Rancho Rio de los Americanos. But you go back to the video, you see how we tucked that in there? We tucked that in there so they can learn that on the under. Look, watch this.
Hey there. Yeah, tell them Fremore
It's in
Jones.
this one conversation.
What you
This conversation.
Fremore
Now
Jones.
check it out. I've got word that Mormons been mining gold up on the Leitensdorf land.
I got word that the Mormons been mining gold up on the Leitensdorf land. Now, I just sat here and freestyled this story from our study and research merging with my trying to help it merge with my imagination and creativity. And I'll just turn on the mic, and you even heard the intro song. I just sat here singing, having hella fun, and just rock through it. But the Leitensdorf land, you see, because when I take you back to the facts, he said he got word that there's Mormons mining gold up on the Leitensdorf land. Let's go back to the facts. They switched it all up. Watch this. 1844, the area was part of a Mexican government land grant named Rancho Rio de los Americanos, received by the multiracial West Indian immigrant. They just don't want to say black. See how they do that? But it's called the Black Miners Bar. But he was multiracial. Multiracial West Indian immigrant and entrepreneur William Alexander Leidensdorf. The historic town site of Negro Bar. So Black Miners Bar was brought through by some name change lobby. But see, you have to investigate it as Negro Bar because you go look further and you find the whole Negro Hill. Then you find out that all of that Tahoe area, that was all black area. And some Mormons came through, start up the beef just like they always do. I'm just saying, you know how it go down in history. They come through, see something popping, settle in, start some beef. Now it's a little fight between the black people and the Mormons. Mormons call some more white people out west to help them. And now it's Folsom Lake. But really what happened, that happened, but really what happened was that was you could see it's called Mormon Island or something in Negro Bar. So when the American government came and took everything, that land grant ain't really that, but he like, no, they ain't just trying to take his land. Somehow, because the government take it from Mexico, how your land grant gonna still stand? Nevertheless, y'all was out there tending the land, so they wasn't really tripping. But what they did was, Leidensdorf was the boss. They wasn't treating him like no noodle. As a matter of fact, when they founded San Francisco, Yerba Buena Island, he had the biggest house on Yerba Buena Island. So when the gold rush happened and they set up San Francisco, they had the governor's ball in a black man house. 1850 or 1849. Well, anyway, there was a man named John Folsom in the Army. came out here when they were smashing, taking everything, peeped all the Leidensdorf land, blah, blah, blah. Wasn't tripping, that was all good. Leidensdorf died. John Folsom went to the Caribbean to find his family, gave him, supposedly, the legend has it, he gave him $8,000 to buy 35,000 acres of California land. Now you could go back and see how much that was worth back then. It still was a wonderful deal. People say it's still like giving the Indians, what they give them, $25 or 25 cents for some part of America. But anyway, that's why I made that. Tell people just supposed to incorporate stuff and come up with stories that stick.
Yeah?
What you know about that?
Few Mormons have rolled through here.
Is that so?
There's a couple out back.
That's why he was trying to see about the Mormons out back. But anyway, what's up in the chat? I ain't seen nothing move in a minute. I see time travel still exists. I don't know what you're talking about. In real and past time? Okay. That's cool. So, I got some other scripts that I'm gonna do when I get down to it. I possibly should start working on it. Let me look and see if I'm live, because I can't even see nothing moving in the chat, bro. What's going on? Sometimes it won't let me see the chat. Okay, yeah, okay, we on still. Doom, doom. Man, I wish I had some of them unedited video. I probably do got them in the cut. The unedited videos of what them scholars was saying when dudes was asking questions. Let me see if I can find that, bro. Cause it'd be hella worse. I didn't want to play the show. I mean, whatever. I ain't even tripping. I was sit here searching for stuff all day. What's up with your question, Babylon Don? You want me to hit the chat, or you about to type the question? You want me to tell me if y'all want me to put the link up, man? I'll put the link up. Nothing.
In the ancient history of Egypt, there is a chapter cloaked in mystery and myth, a story of foreign rulers who rose to power on the banks of the Nile. For centuries, these rulers were known simply as the Hyksos, a name that echoed through the ages as a foreign force, outsiders who brought war, upheaval, and change to the land of the pharaohs. But who were the Hyksos, really? And how much of what we believe about them is rooted in historical truth? As we uncover their story, we find that the Hyksos were not a unified people or tribe as once thought. Instead, they were 6 influential leaders, individuals who rose from the east, each carving a place in Egyptian society during a time of great division and opportunity. These were not tribal invaders, nor a cohesive ethnic group bent on conquest. They were leaders, skilled in the arts of governance and warfare, each ruling over the northern region of Egypt, which was fractured and ripe for change. When the Hyksos first arrived, Egypt was in a period of vulnerability, divided between various regional powers. The Middle Kingdom had weakened, and without centralized authority, the northern Delta region became an open stage for those seeking power. The Hyksos seized this moment, not through brute force alone, but through shrewd diplomacy, strategic alliances, and perhaps most significantly, the introduction of military innovations that would change Egyptian warfare forever. Among these innovations was the horse-drawn chariot, a powerful tool that granted them a formidable advantage, and and symbolized their strength and adaptability. Yet the Hyksos were more than just warriors. They were also merchants and diplomats, establishing trade routes and fostering exchanges that brought new goods, ideas, and technologies to Egypt. They built fortresses, founded cities, and created administrative systems that mirrored those of their Egyptian counterparts. Their rule was not solely one of dominance. It was also one of synthesis. They adopted Egyptian religious practices, paid homage to Egyptian deities, and even incorporated Egyptian titles, blending seamlessly with the customs of the land they governed. Over time, the Hyksos and the Egyptians became intertwined, their cultures blending in ways that are still visible in the artifacts and records they left behind. They were no longer merely outsiders. They were rulers who embraced the Nile as their own, honoring its gods and its people. But this blending was not without friction. The Egyptian upper classes, particularly those in the south, viewed the Hyksos with suspicion and resentment, seeing them as foreign usurpers who had taken advantage of Egypt's moment of weakness. As generations passed, this resentment grew. Eventually, it sparked a powerful movement among native Egyptians to reclaim their lands from these foreign rulers. Under leaders like Kamose and his successor Amose, Egyptians launched a determined campaign to drive out the Hyksos and reunite the country under native rule. The conflict was intense, with both sides fighting to hold onto their vision of Egypt's future. Ultimately, the Hyksos were expelled, their cities destroyed, their influence erased from Egyptian rule, but not from memory. The legacy of the Hyksos, however, is complex. They were both innovators and occupiers, foreign rulers who transformed Egypt and left lasting marks in Egyptian military practices, trade, and society itself. The memory of the Hyksos would endure, not just as a symbol of foreign rule, but as a reminder of Egypt's resilience and capacity for reinvention. In the end, the Hyksos challenge us to look deeper, to understand that history is not always a tale of us versus them. Sometimes it is a story of adaptation, fusion, just as the ways in which different cultures shape and redefine each other. The Hyksos remind us that Egypt's story is not a simple one. It is a tapestry woven from countless threads, foreign and native alike. Nevertheless, Egyptians wanted the Asiatic Hyksos to exist outside of Egypt.
All I know is when you hear the word tapestry, that's an AI signal. Every time I ask AI to write something, we get to talking about tapestry. Giving you a hint. What's up, though? I just put up the link. And I don't know, I got a little bit tired, but now we can keep it popping. I'll be up on the late night, man. Hit the link if y'all chilling, man. Let's have a conversation. And I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna go to my clips and play some other stuff. Let me see. Clips. I just be clipping up stuff I hear people say, but I don't want to go there. I want to look at some stuff some PhDs have said. Let's see what he's saying right here. Oh, the clip ain't available.
The 25th of the month Tibi is said to be the predicted birthday of the children, and Khufu refers to going to Sekhibu about that time apparently, when the banks of the canal are cut and the land was drying after the inundation, whereon Dedi threatens that the water shall still be deep there. This points to the 25th Tibi being about the close of the inundation. This would be about the case in the beginning of the 4th dynasty and also in the 12th dynasty, when the papyrus was perhaps written. Hence there is nothing conclusive to draw from this allusion so far, but When we compare this tale with those following, we see good ground for its belonging to a time before the 12th dynasty. The following tale of the peasant and the workman evidently belongs to the 9th or 10th dynasties, when Heracleopolis was the capital, and Sanahat is certainly of the 12th dynasty. Yet in those we see character and incident made the basis of interest. The 25th of the month Tibi is said to be...
So he was wondering when the story of the eloquent peasant was written, and what he cited I wanted to remember. But I can sit there and just listen to those, man. I got this one, I'm gonna start doing that. Listening to this one Egyptian podcast, just letting it run live. Wow. All right, let's listen to what he said right here.
He wore the title Horus, and Horus at that time, and until latest time at the place of his old sanctuary in Edfu, the prehistoric capital from where the process of unification started, was worshipped as...
So that goes with what Chris was saying yesterday. He said Edfu was the prehistoric capital, the home of Horus. I keep telling y'all, but cats don't want, it don't make sense to some people. But it seems like the mythological tale of the battle between Horus and Set is about the unification of Egypt. That's what my research be making me think. That battle of Horus and Set story is about the unification of Egypt.
A sun god.
So here he just gave evidence to it. He just said the prehistoric nome of Edfu. He said Edfu was the prehistoric capital. That's what he said. Edfu, like the third, well, maybe the third nome. Niken is the third nome, so it's Edfu Niken. Let's see. A nome is like a county in Egypt. That's a Greek word. It was called a sapat. It's like a county. Because you got towns inside of nomes. Edfu is second. Now that's how I know I'm right. So let me can I mount an argument, a conjecture argument? I don't want y'all to be like, he said, I'm clearly prefacing this is what I conject. I'm not conjecturing it anymore. I'm at the point of presuming it, like it's a presumption. It's not an assumption, it's based on evidence if you don't know the difference between an assumption and a presumption, right? It's based on evidence I'm about to present that should be somewhat, not irrefutable, but it will call you to question whether I'm making it up or whether it's on point. Because check this out. We got the story about the contendings or the battle between Horus and Set, right? And in this thesis that I'm arguing, the battle of Horus and Set is about the unification of Egypt. Now let me argue this the way I gets it in. I could just stand in front of a jury. You guys are my jury for the day. Thank you for attending. I'm going to pull out Exhibit A. All right. Oh, I spelled it. What's his last name? Francisco. I should have just put Dynasty 00. So here we're going to look at evidence to substantiate my claims that and I don't want to cite the wrong story, so I keep saying the Battle of Horus and stuff, but it may be known as the contendings of Set and Heru, right? It's about the unification of Egypt. I want Reggie to come get in the dojo and beat me up on this too. He could get his licks in. But I'm about to show you how you defend your thesis. Now, first, what I would invite us to look at are pre-dynastic tablets. All right? That are going to support the about 4th century claims, BC, 4th century BC claims of Manetho, right? About 300, well, about he lived in the 300s. Manetho, I'm saying. And the Palmero stone. So I'm giving you the sources. The Palmero stone, Manetho, and what you're about to see. In Manetho's King's List, I ain't even play what video. I ain't tripping. I'm on to something else. In the Manetho's King's List, right? He said some of the first rulers were called the Shemsu Hor. We can pull that up. I don't need to. You can check that. The Shemsu Hor translates back to the followers of Horus. If I take you to the nome map, and if we go look at the nomes of Upper Egypt, we'll see I'm gonna make it really big. We'll see a very, very short version right here. So to decode these glyphs all the way, we got the word Taseti on top, right? You see it say Taseti. But the word is sitting on top of a standard. Standard is what's on top of the standard is venerated. The best way I could make you think of a type of a standard, this might not be the best one, but think of a totem pole. But you know, totem pole got different natures or whatever all the way up the totem pole. But the one on the top, take all the other ones off, right? And have that one on the top. That's how a standard is used in ancient Egypt. And I'm gonna show you instances of it later. Sometimes not sometimes, when there's an ancient Egyptian procession of a particular tribe or group or what have you, in the front of the procession, we see a few officials, and one of them would most normally be the standard bearer, right? Because he's going to be holding the expanded version of what we see here as a standard. Now, the standard is going down to a plot. This is just simply, just think of if you ever seen a land plot on some, on the assessor records, or just like a land plot. It's a land plot, right? And it represents a sapat or a particular area. So it's basically saying, in this area, this is venerated. All right? It's saying that almost every Egyptologist would agree, and I bet you no one has ever said that like that. And I'm not saying it on my own thing. I'm just saying I try to simplify it. This basically says, in this area, this is venerated. So the first area we see lines up on the map over to this area, number 1. Because the greater area, we know it as Taseti. Now hear that name, Seti? Taseti. In the name Taseti, see, now we're going to learn some ancient Egyptian wordplay. In the name Taseti, Seti is to shoot. Seti, the word Seti in Taseti means to shoot. It says the land of the bow. They're expanding it. If you ever find the word seti by itself, it'll possibly mean to shoot, unless someone's talking about a set bow, which comes from Taseti, the type of bows they use to shoot. So the land of the bow is cool. I like to line it up with the land of the shooters because they was more tripping off getting shot, not just bows laying all over the place, right? So we see that clear. You see it says number 1 is Taseti. We come back over here. We see you see number 1. The reason why they got comb on bow, that's what the extraction is called. This means a mound of gold, comb on bow. And this in ancient Egyptian means gold. Well, but I didn't say what the yet means, right? So I don't want to say that, but this is just an area of gold, basically. Nubiet. Now we could talk about how Nubia was inside, some of Nubia was inside of Taseti, this greater area. Now, when we come to the second area, what do we have? Number 2, the throne of Horus. All right. Come to number 2, and we see that's Edfu. Now let's go back and hear what the scholar says about Edfu. See, I lines it up. Watch this.
He wore the title Horus, and Horus at that time, and until latest time at the place of his oldest sanctuary in Edfu, the prehistoric capital from where the process of unification started.
He just said 3 very significant things. He said in the pre-dynastic times, Edfu was a capital. That's one thing. He said this was the home of Horus. That's 2 things. And he said the unification started there. So you just heard it out his mouth. Let me let you hear all 3 again.
He wore the title Horus, and Horus at that time, and until latest time at the place of his oldest sanctuary in Edfu, the prehistoric capital from where the process of unification started, was worshipped as a sun god.
So he was worshipped as a sun god, right? And we looking at where that was at. He said Edfu. It's lining right up. Because when we come to the name of Edfu in the metadata, it's the throne of Horus. So you don't have to know much. You don't have to be all in the metadata like us. Your brain is working. You just digested that. If you didn't, I'll go over the whole thing again. And what you're going to see is you got Horus and Set right up against each other, but you probably can't see that yet because you see Taseti and we don't understand ancient Egyptian wordplay. Set is in that Taseti, believe it or not. A lot of people will tell us we're not. So he just told us where the home of Horus was. I can ask anybody in the chat, put it up in the chat, and tell me where is the home of Set. Where's the home of Set? Where's the home of Sutek before he was venerated and turned into an evil nature? Vilified, not venerated. Before he was vilified and turned into an evil nature. Not evil either. A mischievous or, negative nature. Taseti, thank you. Thank you, Comb Ombo. Thank you, Babylon Don. The reason why I said thank you, Comb Ombo, because as we come over to what Babylon Don just put, you see Comb Ombo. Right? Now, if I want to corroborate that, I'll ask, where is the temple of Set in Egypt? The temple of Set. They got one in Abydos. They say one is Theban. But when they say Theban, is it in Thebes? There's a temple of Set is supposedly in Kom Ombo. Let's look up Kom Ombo and see. Kom Ombo temple. That temple is to Set. So now we could go look at the temple and see if I'm wrong. The temple of Kom Ombo, oh, this is later. This is Ptolemaic anyway, right? And so that's Ptolemaic. I'm trying to find a temple to Set in Kom Ombo, and I'm not gonna hold myself up on it. I'm just gonna try to see if I can find anything on the internet. See, they say so. Kom Ombo's temple going to the crocodile forest, the falcon. So in order to finish this, I gotta spend time on this to show you where even though it's called, everybody don't know Tasseti and Set. They both got something to do with that. So maybe let me go to AI. Let me see. Might just help me. I'm gonna say, if AI don't know, I'm gonna have to teach it. Let me see. I'm probably tricking myself for saying Kom Ombo. See, it say, no, there is not a temple dedicated to the god Set in Kom Ombo. The temple of Set Ombo is unique because, I'm gonna have to teach it. It must not be in Kom Ombo. It must just be in Tasseti, the greater Tasseti area. I'm gonna ask. If they say it ain't no relation, I'm gonna be like, damn, I need to teach this AI. Set, if I can find the Tasseti. We'll see if they say anything about it. See, they say ain't no direct relation. Now, that let me know I gotta get on here and teach it. Because I found this in my work, that the name ain't just a coincidence as they putting forth. I mean, I found things to lead me to believe that, but one of the things I was hinging on was this temple that ain't popping up right now, right? But if you bar that temple, they're only telling you Tasseti. So I would not be able to continue arguing along those lines if I can't prove to you that there was some veneration to Set that went on in these areas, right? So let's answer that. I mean, I ain't gonna just talk to talk. I shared the link a long time ago. If somebody could hit the link, that'll be cool. Now here it go. But they made it weak. Because they said, oh, see? Got him, blood. I just taught the AI. Look at this, dog. It be making me so mad. I'm gonna make it big so you can see it with your eyes. First, they say there's no direct relationship between the god Seth and the ancient kingdom of Tasseti. The similar name is a coincidence. The two terms have different meanings and derive from separate concepts. But see, they don't know about ancient Egyptian wordplay. When something sounds like something, they always be using it. Now watch this. They telling me how it ain't the same. Now watch this, what this say when I come down here. After I said this. Wait a minute. When I make it small so I can get back to what I'm saying. Look. Principal Coat Center. Y'all see that? Ombos. Okay. Let me show y'all something. See, Kom Ombo right here. When they say an Ombos, which is messing the theory up, but at least we could be learning while we watching. When they say an Ombos, they trying to say that's right here. Because how do I know? Ombos mean gold. Calm Ombo is a mound of gold, right? Am I wrong? Y'all can tell me if that's wrong. So they talking about up here somewhere, which don't make, oh, all right. It changes the story a bit, but it still go with what Maria Gatto and them said now. So check this out. What we just discovered, they say Ombos Nakata in Upper Egypt. So yes, Set was venerated in Upper Egypt, the town of Ombos, known as Egyptian as Nub, yet, man, they don't know what they're doing. It says Nubyt. Look, that's right where I said it was. Look. Nbyt, bro. Down at Combe Ombo. See? Nbyt. This is NBWT. So AI don't be knowing as much as we be knowing. It's just trying to pull from hella sources. But it did point me in the right direction. Now it says this was Set's original cult center dating back to at least the early dynastic period, 3150 BC to 2613 BC. All right. So if you can see, I was leaning on it being on Combe Ombo. Nevertheless, in the ancient Egyptian, they did say it was right here. There go good brother Reggie. And in the they said it was around there. What's up, bro? Your mic ready? Let's see if Reggie ready to tap in. Mic check 1, 2. Yo. So what just happened was my claim that I was about to teach where I was where I said I was conjecting. Now I gotta rework my hypothesis, and now I have sources to stand on. Because if they say they was in that area, now I can go to what Maria Gatto said. She said people from that area came down to Kaseti area or the Edfu area, started fighting, and then went back north. It still would be the people who venerated Set going down to the second known Edfu, the people who venerated Horus. What's up with Reggie?
Yeah, peace. So Per Ibsen, his name is Set Per Ibsen. He was a worshiper of Set in the Second Dynasty.
Oh yeah.
He was one of the first. He wrote the first Meta Neter sentence in his dynasty. So he's a patronage. Of Set.
I wonder where was they ruling from at that time? Probably Thebes, huh?
I don't know if he was ruling from Thebes. It says Peribsen broke with custom by replacing the horse falcon on his charrette with the Set animal, likely a political move tied to ongoing religious and regional tensions between the Horus worshipping North, Lower Egypt, and the Set following South, Upper Egypt.
So I think that unification was, like they said, between Horus and Set, the tribes of Horus and Set.
Right. So Set is in Upper Egypt, and Horus is in Lower Egypt. So
I shouldn't have tried to pinpoint it in Ombo, and that theory would have worked a little better. You feel me? I'm gonna change it.
So it's so he seems to be Per Ibsen seems to be ruling from Abtu. That's where Per Ibsen's tomb and very seal impressions bearing Set.
So that's way down south. That's Elephantini.
Abtu.
Oh, Abju. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Right. So and the later kings, Karsekami, for unity, they used both of those totems, Horus and Set. But it was fractured, even though Nermer is claimed to unify. I think he began the unification process, and the later kings uh, made it really happen, but they gave it to Nermer for the beginning the process. So Set is in Upper Egypt and Abju. And so this country is known for finding ways to synthesize and unite and recreate, reconnect areas based on for the unity of the country. And they do this over and over again, like Wahem Masut, right? These themes that later is actually called like Wahem Masut, right? Rebirth, renew. And in the pyramid text is one of those items that was created for unification. So, and then the king's names, the various king names is also created for unification. He has a Nick birth name, a royal name, and he has other names connected for purpose of unity, so that some groups can see him one way, while another group sees him another way, and so there's patronage to the king. So you are, as far as Set worship, you are correct that there was Set worship. I'm gonna say in the early kings, it was in the second dynasty. Yeah, in the second dynasty. So and anybody can look up Set Peripson if you don't know what I'm talking about and what Smash is talking about for the Google scholars. But I just have a long history of looking at some of these things, try to understand it, the different kingdoms. A lot of people don't do Old Kingdom at all. Probably some of the best that do Old Kingdom is Jedamon Kekere. He does Old Kingdom. Reading Old Kingdom Meta Necha is really difficult because there's no classifiers. And so you have to know vocabulary. So Jedamon Kekere is one of the people that I know that does this. Who's one of the best in doing it? If you ever ask him.
You still build with Mario Beatty?
I don't build with him. Occasionally I ask him questions, but he is busy doing his own work, and it's difficult for him to get back to me. So he's but when I see him personally, we have a great time. But he doesn't respond back and forth on email. But whenever I see him, that's my dude. Whenever I see him, right? He's really smart. But over the internet and stuff like that, that's not what he does. I think, yeah. If anybody, I don't know if Camdyverse or some other people have tried to talk to him, but listen, I mean, he gave up Askak's time for us to do this debate on the meaning of Kemet. So I'm always grateful to him for that, because he didn't have to do that. And then he talked himself, and he talked about Kemet as being a geopolitical. You have to see it in context of geopolitical, which in this case, you're talking about the geopolitical concepts and looking at the mythology and looking at the writing, like the Palmyra stone, right? And bringing in like Manetho, who is seemingly a great Egyptian historian, who gives us a lot of information from the old the older kingdoms, the kingdoms that he wasn't a part of, because he's late Egyptian. So he gives us a lot, but then we still have to check it, because he may, how can I say, some of the texts he may not have had himself as a historian, because of the time period that he's in. And so sometimes there's another way in which you can look at the material. But he is he has been an incredible resource, and he seemingly knows Meta Nature, but he seemingly also knows Greek. So I don't know if Menecta is a kind of a Ptolemaic priest. I don't even know if he's African. I mean, he's African because he's lived there, but I don't know if he is if he's indigenous African and not related at all to the Greeks. But so I just wanted to add with Per Ibsen, and you can bring that up. You could look at it Wikipedia if you look at Cés Per Ibsen. But he is incredible because he wrote what we call the first sentence in Meta Nature. And he was also a heretic. He was the first heretic. He's likened to Akhenaten. He's the first heretic because he venerated Set. That's all I want to say about that.
What's up with Shazmo?
Peace. Not a whole lot. Just wanted to tap in, and I know I'm not an expert, and I don't read the Meta Nature expertly, but I do study the history. Because one thing, when you asked me about Duke Gell and doing the presentation on it, in my research, it unfolded a lot of things, but it took me further south, because Duke Gell, it has, and this is going to tie in, it has a lot of older things, especially the Syrex and the mound and bull culture. Like I said, it mainly took me south. So it's not a whole lot to really right now to unearth of Duke Gell. It will be a short presentation. So it will be better to do like either all of Nabu, which some people call Nubia. I'm leaning away from that now because of all the indigenous Meta Nature
but you know, at
cities.
one point there was a king of the place, and he was called the King of Ta-Nehisi. At one point, there was a king of Ta-Nehisi.
And that goes back to even with Reggie and you, which you and I, well, you brought it up and we read together, or I was online when you were reading it, talking about the double crown. But from my studies, I'll just say this real quick too. We have to be careful. I mean, I know we get a lot of our information from the Egyptology field, but we are going beyond the Egyptology field because we're looking at it from a different perspective, and we love the culture. And that's not that we're what they call it. We're not fanatical about it, but we're trying to find the true and factual history. So when we use the Egyptologists, sometimes we get stuck on thinking that the double falcon, even though they might have went north, that they're in the north. And we got to be sure whether or not the European or the Egyptologists are talking, which we got to be careful on whether they're talking north as in north or north, whether it's uphill or, if they're using the directional north and south. Because I heard Reggie come in, I'm not saying, we know Narmer was from Tennis, right? And we know the Theban kings, and we know Tarseti, we know the oldest name of it was Tarseti, that's Thebes, and that little crook around Nakada. So when you go down south, then that's where your Nubians were. And I think I would say, and like say investigative or the research, the exploratory research, the bull culture that Reggie always talks about, I would tend to lean on that those were more of your Theban kings, your Sethians, and then you had those people in the eastern desert, and then the people in a little bit southern desert, your Amun, and then your Set. But your Hebrew, like you were saying, in Edfu or Nebit, which would be considered more of a southern Nubian faction, and the Thinite kings or the Theban kings would be your further north. So, like you said in that story, when Sethian contingency came down and battled with them, and then I would add that what Reggie was saying, that person like Akhenaten, who weakened went out to Armand and weakened the territory. Got rid of the army and wanted all this peace. It's all nonsense. It's soft stuff. And then that's when things got torn apart. That heretic, that's the word Reggie used.
Well, I was.
Can I finish, Reggie?
Well, you can't bring my name in. So
I can bring your name in, and then you can respond to whatever you get about the response. But I was saying that heretic that Reggie was speaking of, that maybe I think he said either possibly in Edfu or in Nebi, that changed from the following of Horus to Set, probably because of, like you said, the political and the pressure, whatever other pressure, political or financial or threat of destruction. Or he might have been a brotherhood or some kind of relation to the Sethians, and then he changed it to that. So that story that we read about him, the general that went north, smashed on them, and then came south and smashed on. To me, it seemed like he killed one person and bragged about it. One bowman down south bragged about it, and then boom, boom, boom. Oh, that might have been a story about he killed one Sethian, but I'm not sure. We have to investigate that a little more. But that's what I was bringing in, if that makes sense. So I'm following your exploratory research.
All right. Well, it's Friday, right?
Don't.
It's Friday.
No, don't.
So here's the deal. So when I said heretic, that's a term that Egyptologists give to him because of his Aten religious or beliefs, not and that's why they call him a heretic, but they don't frame it correctly because his mother was a Aten worshiper, and his father patronized that, and his father was having difficulty with the Amun priest, and this was a way different period than what we're talking about.
Oh, okay. Now, when you say that, then that makes me, that puts me in. Okay, this is you were bringing up somebody that came way after than what Smash was referring to.
Yeah, this was Smash is dealing with the Shimshur Hor, and linking that to a particular Sapat, and to show that there was Set worship, and so there were still problems with, and most people, again, like what Smash pointed out, do not know that Set was in the south, and the falcon, which we call Hor, was in the.
Can you clarify south when you say south?
Yes, Abju.
And can we bring with the map, Smash, if you don't mind?
I see. Here's my rules.
No, because I would like to have clarity see, this is the confusion, and I'm not breaking you. I'm not
No, see, here's the rules.
No, I'm not contention with you. I'm not contention with you. I'm not cutting up. We're having a dialogue, and we as Africans, we jump in and jump out.
It's not a dialogue.
Okay, well, it's not a dialogue. It's a monologue.
How's it a dialogue when you cut?
But check
I speak, cut me off.
All I'm asking
you cutting
is
him off now, Patal. Like you just got snappy
okay.
on him cutting
my,
you off.
My bad.
Now
my
you
bad. My bad.
forceful at cutting him off.
No, I was just okay. I won't go.
I'm not
really.
You got to say is more important than what he
No. I don't. I do not. I'm trying to build. No, I'm just trying to build, not build onto it, but just show clarity so we can see clarity. So everybody in the chat, because like I said, when we say South and North,
so you gonna continue your cutoff?
I'm not. Oh, I'm done, Reggie, or not done, but please proceed.
Well, Smash is this is Smash. Smash was making a point, and he was crystal clear, right? He was crystal clear.
I'm not going to jump on.
Okay, one more time, and I'm out of here. So he was educating the learning community on belief systems, cultural differences in a kingdom that was unified and trying to stay unified, right? And try to reform itself, right? And so we got to the point of Tasseti. Tasseti seemed to be prior to what we call Nermer, Egypt. That seemed to be a capital, right? Which their own, how can I say, belief systems and structures that people don't want to deal with, right? And then Egyptologists focus on Nermer, right? Because that's where they want to start with Egyptology, but leave out some of the pre-dynastic cultures that was still, how can I say, still very much alive, and until they become what you call Egyptianized later. So that's why you do have nomes that are like Anu, An, right, Anuit, right? That and these other nomes that have different types of peoples and cultures and city gods within the country. But the colonial Egyptologists want to try to frame this in their colonial thinking. Current day Egyptologists and Nubiologists, right? So you have Dr. Ashby and a number of these scholars. They don't look at. They're very curious about or critique some of the colonial thinking that we think we know about this. So I was interested. All I tried to do was just try to agree with Smash on the set worship against the Shimshu Hor groups of people, because Egypt is what we call ancient Egypt is not all one thing all the time. It's not. It's very complex. It's not as simple. When we think of dynasties, we think of families, right? But they're not. How can I say? Some dynasties happen at the same time, because dynasties are families of rulers, right? It's not consecutive. Sometimes you can have like the 10th dynasty, 9th and 10th dynasty kings of Heracleopolis at the same time. And so, thank you, Smash. Thank you.
So, Smash, can on the map, can you zoom out just a little bit? No, not. Yeah, zoom out. Yeah, zoom out a little bit. Not, yeah. Because I want a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. I was trying. There we go. There we go. Yes, indeed. Right. And matter of fact, I would contend to say there was a little bit a little bit further south. Right here you go. This is where this is where I wanted you, but I would even come out just a little bit more just to be able to capture a little bit more of the south once you get tennis. Yeah, yeah. In that boot, the hook. Hey, bro.
Yeah, this is set worship. No, set worship. Yeah, no. So wait. Is set worship isn't Abydos, but Tasseti. This part of Aswan and Tasseti. This was another thing that we was actually talking about as far as
it's a little bit
it's higher.
above. That's where tennis is at. Just right there. But just zoom out zoom out just a little bit, just one more time. Right, I'm saying so we can get the bottom that you wanted, so we can get elephant Aswan. Okay, so well, I wanted you, if you would, what they call it, if you would humor me and just do one more click out, one more click, smaller. All right. I just want tennis. Yeah, as long as tennis is in there. See tennis or Seni. All right. So as we know, Thebes is the throne of Set, right? Or we say Thebes, or Dr. Ben would always say, we say Thebes, but Dr. Ben would always say Thebes. But to me, I want to go. I understand that, but I will just go to the right and all the way to its right and say that's Tasseti, right? That's the throne of Set. I'm saying the names that Thebes or Luxor or Karnak changed from in the past. So the arrows. No. Go to see the arrows. Waset is Luxor, Karnak, Thebes, Waset, Unu, Sama, meaning the bowman unified, and then Unu, Eri, Set, not Niu, Rest, Set. Unu, Uri, Set. On the last, well, I disagree with that. That's just because I'm saying that Niut, that thing we call that 049 glyph is the even though we know and we say that it is
all right,
community, it is a place of where people come together, city, like that. But I'm saying that NIWT, I'm saying that's trickery. That really is the bowman of Set.
What?
I'm saying that is that. See,
let me make it bigger so people know what you're talking about.
We can humor this, but I want to get back to where you was talking about in the beat.
Why you want to go over? I don't get it.
The only thing I'm saying is that Luxor or Karnak at Thebes. Can we? What name can we agree to call that fourth category?
They called it Waset.
They called it two other names too, but yeah. So we want to agree on. Let's just call it Ipit. What do we want to call it? Because at one time it was called Ipit Set or Ipit Suit.
No, man.
Or Ipit Set.
That's a building in that area.
Okay. Well, we'll call it Waset. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. So Waset is the throne of Seti, right? Tasseti. The Theban kings rule from there.
Oh, you said Waset is what?
The throne of Seti. The Theban kings ruled from there. So when you come down south, remember you were looking for a temple in Nebit or Kom Ombo?
All right, I'm saying you throwing out a lot of claims, and I would like some of them substantiated. How was Waset the throne of Seti?
From the names.
Was staff. It's a feminized was staff. So that's why it's pronounced was and then T, right? So it starts off from you can clearly see the was
Yeah,
staff.
it's was, and then they put a T
Was.
on it.
Now, if the was has a set animal on it, right? Then okay, that's fine. That's another kind of argument because it does have the was staff part of it, the top of it does have what you call a
I see set up there. I know. I mean, if we yes, I do. Things have been well. If we were to go down lower, I could share some other things, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather do this. That's why I called you, asked for Smash, because I think I've seen figured some things out further south.
Sometimes when you break grammar rules like what Reggie just illustrated, it get problematic because you know that the root to the word is was, right? We all agree on that, right? So even if you just see scepter, you don't agree.
I do, but I don't.
Oh, how could you not agree? It's a was scepter.
I want to have a build, but I don't want to have a contentious build. Okay, do me one favor. See, I don't want to take you. Are we cool with just following this, or do we want to get back on the Nebit and Komombo and Tasseti and the story, or the Temple of Tasseti and the story of the
I can't follow nothing that make me have to agree to heck of stuff that's
Civil
wrong
War.
in order to get the point.
Which point? Or
Whatever
what
point
are you
you're trying
referring
to make, if while we're walking to that point, we know errors, you just want us to continue and not address those errors because it might be contentious?
No, fine. Okay, so go down to if you move the map down, go down to top to Mero or Great Love Mer-Ah.
Oh, you talking way down here?
Well, I just wanted you to bring the map down.
Mero.
Okay.
That's what you're talking
about? The area.
Okay,
the map is down where you at. All right, so okay, at the top bend where it says Nubian Nile,
Mm-hmm.
What does that say?
It looks like it says Wat.
Or Watet, right? Wati or Watet. What is Wat? What is Wat?
Tet is,
all right.
Wouldn't Tet be T-E-T?
Okay. All right, I'm gonna take you even further. All right, you see where you have your cursor at Moreau, or I'm gonna say Mer, the beloved. You see in the brown it says Puanit or Puntites, inhabitants of Punt. I'm putting forth that says that is a distortion by Egyptologists, but it really we always call those mounds or those T's, and I'm gonna put forth that I don't know if Eddie K knew why he was calling the Ta a T, but I'm putting forth that those symbols right there are not bread loaves. Those are either mounds or mountains. They're T's, but they're mounds or mountains. And I'm putting forth that Kasut. What is Ka and C and T? I'm putting forth that the S, that means my, right?
Just so I can follow you, where is that at? Kasut.
Right underneath the two T's, and we're in Pool.
Are you talking about the Kasat?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now go ahead.
That's Ka-Si-Tet or Kasat. Ka-Si-Tet. K-T-K-S-T. C is my, right? And then Ka is spirit, my spirit, mountain. But check this out. The P in Meroetic, where it's the doctors, the good doctors that you were on the panel with, that the ladies and sir, they have, well, we have I guess the nubiologists have broken the script of the Meroetic script. And she said that no, it is connected. You're right, because it's being revealed. The P by itself means he is. And you know how Dr. Ben always said we came from the mountains of the moon?
Bruh.
Okay, okay, do the grammar on this. PWNTT. Those two mounds are T's.
He is not that is. In what language?
No, I did not say that is.
What did you say?
I said he is.
All right,
I said he
what
is.
language is that?
Meroetic.
So why are you doing Meroetic when we're looking at ancient Egyptian?
Okay, we'll negate that. All right, Wa. Wa is what? What is Wa?
Wa?
What is Wa?
Wa means one.
So one priest, like a Wa priest. No,
that word is Wab.
Where do you see a B in the Nubian knot?
A Wab priest.
In the Nubian knot. Okay. All right.
You see what I mean? So with the first you asked, what is Wa? You said two consonants W-A. I said Wa means one. Then you said like a Wa priest, but it's nothing called a Wa priest. It's called a Wab priest.
So Wa has nothing to do with water?
Wa does, but just because
Wa has something to do with water. I don't know that. How?
It's Mu is water. Mu is water.
Okay, I'm gonna take you one more step down. Okay, come down to Gebel Barkel, right?
Mm-hmm.
That says do. No, look at the meta nature, or look at the meta nature that says do Wab.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
That's putting forth that Wab that I was telling you about. You see how it's different than this other word up here?
Yeah, slightly, yes. So I'm putting forth that is mountain water, or water mountain, where possibly priests went up to bathe, to cleanse themselves.
So now that is closer to what it actually says, though, because this has purification in it. The word Wab means to purify. Du means a mountain.
Right.
So that's just reading the glyphs. But I was shocked that you said slightly when you said are you only looking at the transliteration? Because if you're looking at the glyphs, nothing is similar between these two.
Well,
nothing.
I would say the the scripts, or the letters that are being used.
No, they're not.
Are different. No, I'm saying they're different.
Yeah, so I was wondering how.
I mean, but we can spell things different.
Interesting.
Wa, I'm saying Wa. To me, that's a water. Again, another water mountain.
So Gebel Barkel, I think you read that correctly, but that's you just reading the red letter. But you clearly see that we got the symbol for purification right here. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I agree. You've taken my Meta Nature learning forward. You have taught me more in Meta Nature. I mean, I got a foundation from Ujao, but you have, and even Reggie and Jedam, every scholar or any person that has studied the Meta Nature, I've drawn from. But yes, you're right. I see the purification.
We all learn and teach from each other. It just, I think sometimes we don't know who right, and we find out who teaches who in debate sometimes.
Right.
But now, I wouldn't say the mountain of purification. If you ask Chris, he'd probably say the pure mountain. But what would you say? Because the mountain of purification implies they go there to be purified. They did go down to Gebel Barkel for some getting closer to Amen type reasons. But what would you say about that, Reggie? Pure
mountain, full stop.
You said
pure mountain, full stop. Period. Pure.
Well, I would just, I'm not going to try to be like I'm the all L tell all, I'm the only one, but I would just say that then that's when I go to nature. Where does
that was cool.
when
and I ain't mad at what you did. I'm not gonna cut you off. I'll let you finish. But you hopped off that punt one quick. So
no, I didn't. I mean, because I'm not. I'm a stick. I'm holding. I'm a stand on that.
No, you don't have to. It would have been wise to hop off it quick if you were saying that the P means he is.
I'm a stand on that. If you look up Meriwethic text, that's clear.
Oh, that's fine. But tell me how Meriwethic text applies to what.
But I'm not going to do it. But that's why I hopped off of it, because you wanted to shoot an arrow saying we're not working with that. We over here.
Oh no,
because I'm cool
like that. Because I'll be liking to understand what's in someone's brain when they have a theory.
Because I understand that these cultures are related and their languages are related. They might have small iteration changes, but they are related.
Let me.
So
asked a good question, and it'll help us segue to keep it so like I don't feel like we arguing. But I'm gonna answer this question just so it can help. Then you can have the floor back. Can we ask why the mountain is pure? Does anyone want to answer that?
I would venture to answer.
Go ahead.
So, like I said, when I start to read, I start to always incorporate nature, because I think, because I'm not in my feelings, I think they did. So pure, the mountain, the water or the mist. The water that comes down on the mountain is cleaner than the water in the river.
Okay, I see what you're doing.
Whether it be via soot or just being in the river, itself. There's no. Go ahead.
So when answering these questions, your first point of reference is Negro intuition. What you think.
Well,
normally our point of reference
don't do that. Don't do that.
No,
because
that's what you keep doing. I think this. I'm gonna stand on that.
Check this out. The only reason I say I think is because when people say I feel, then they go, you and your feelings.
No.
So I'd rather be a thinker than a feeler. But check this out.
Says.
I understand.
That's
but
what
check this out. But check this out. When I say I think, then I'm standing on from not just intuition, but from the scholastic understanding of the writings, the culture, the archaeology, all of the information that we research, combined, brought together.
But there's an Egyptological explanation as to why there is the pure mountain, and you ain't referenced it in your explanation, talking about mist and water. That don't got nothing to do with it. You don't remember the mountain is carved out like the image of the nature? You don't remember?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So check this out.
Reggie, he might say it better. I don't want to seem like I'm on something. So let's let.
Yeah,
Reggie.
I think the people. Okay, so the people of what we call Tawi civilization, they didn't even know about Jebel Barka till later. They name it during a different time. This the issue with punt, we don't know if that is an indigenous word or the ancient Egyptians, indigenous to those people in that area, and the ancient Egyptians, those groups of people, but that's the term that the ancient Egyptians use. They call that area punt. And I guess it's because, but going back to Jebel Barka, right? The ancient Egyptians didn't even know about that area until really Hatshepsut, right? And for now, if you want to go with what Egyptologists say, right? It just means it's just a pure mountain for purity. It's a sacred mountain, and it goes to what Smash says about being in the shape of the having the cobra seeing the cobra.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up, and then
on
he
the
can
mountain.
remember. It looked like Amen, right? And it was
Yes.
supposed to be the birthplace of the original. So they got Amen of Napata, which is right here, and
Yeah.
you never really hear them say Amen of Gebel Barku. So when they talk, you see Napata is right across the water, right?
I want to touch that too.
Okay.
I want to
But
continue
you have heard of
and let y'all
references
beat it
to-
up.
Have you heard of references to Amen of Napata?
I would add. Well, have I heard of references?
Well, they have particular texts. When
No,
Amen of,
but
check it
but
out.
I can,
When they
but I
ain't
can
getting no
see
love
why.
from Thebes, and they start praying. Some of them start praying the Amen of Napata, trying to get closer to the source. This is supposed to be his birthplace. But I'm about to put it in here so we can see it. Go ahead, you got the floor. So remember this rock? Look, remember the rock, Patai?
Absolutely.
Look, in the edge
Southern
of it,
Crown.
they said, yeah, let me see. So they said
That's-
the edge of this was looking like Amen
The
with
Southern
his crown
Crown.
on it.
Right. The white crown. Yeah, that's Sudan.
But the Egyptians didn't know about this. They knew nothing really about this.
I'm not. I'm sorry. Go ahead. So I would say I'm not going to do what you do to me, Reggie, and say Egypt didn't exist. And I know that way you call it that, but we're talking before the unification. When we start down in the bottom.
I don't know what you're saying about me saying that Egypt did not exist. That's a Greek term.
But I'm saying it didn't exist. You're right. It did not.
For the ancient people, it did not exist. It came down during the time of as the Greeks and the crop the what do you call it, I forgot the term right now, but Egypt as a term did not exist until the Greeks. It's Egyptos. It comes from those type of words, so it did not exist. The same thing with Jebel Barkal. The people of Egypt did not know about it until another period, and so then you have Duwab, right? But they did not know about it. And so we are joining different periods to make something we think is ancient, which it is ancient, but it's only when the ancient Egyptians knew about it. And then they named it.
Reggie, I'm coming from the perspective of when I'm down in the South, when I'm doing this, I guess I need to get you guys to see where my mind frame is at. I'm not coming from a time period of Kerma or Dookie Gell or Tassetti. I'm coming from a time frame before double zero or in double zero, where these cultures are beginning to come from the Green Sahara, where Smash just showed the Nubian, the crown of the mountain. That those people who were bull cultures, as we know, and then I'm gonna bring it together. If you put the map back up, if you could, Smash, and then and Pet, or what we call Napata, and Pet, I'm saying is in the sky or another mountain.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. So what we call Napata is in the
I'm gonna
sky?
slow down. I'll slow down.
I'm just trying to understand Napata is in the sky.
What is Pet?
Blood.
What is need? 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 What does the grammar of need? I don't want to do that. I want to keep what is the? I mean, don't be so harsh and quick to. What is need pet?
If you can say I'm being harsh, I can say you're being soft. So let's just stick
All right. You're right. But I'm saying though, I mean, really, because I could go there too, Brian. You know, I'm chill. What is need? What does need pet mean? What could it mean? Hello? All right. So pet or need pet, and then you have the kasat again. My spirit mountain, always referring back to the highlands of Ethiopia and the mountains of Uganda. This is my interpretation. because, and I think it fits. So we're coming on around, and then you have, unless you want, you guys, anything about that?
Yes.
Okay,
Where
well,
you getting this my spirit mountains?
I left that. Remember, I was in Puentet or Punt or
So
Puanich.
wait. I'm clearly starting to not. It's like I'm having a comprehension issue. When you saying these words, they're supposed to line up to the ancient Egyptian words, right?
Most, yes.
Okay, so I got what you were saying about in the sky. I feel you. I didn't want to argue that, but impact is one word. But if you want to break it down to two words and say it means belonging to the sky, I will be with you.
Which is a mountain in the sky.
All right, so now, but where are you getting the second part you said from?
You see there's the kasat. I'm saying kasi tet or kasi t.
So how are you taking this word kasat and making it ka-si tet when you know you don't even use the ka-k for the word kasat to start with an X?
I understand it's a K, they do KHA, right? Which, KA or KHA. But I mean, I'm not gonna argue that.
Okay,
I'm not gonna argue
that. You keep going.
All right, and then I'm gonna take you back over here. Don't move the map to the top right for Kas, Ka-S, Kasi, my spirit.
All right,
That's
so can I ask a question? Does your translation work in every other instance of this word popping up? Like, is it my spirit when we up here still? I mean, when we go get the size up here? Like
let's check it. Let's
is
experiment
Gaza
it.
right here. So
let's experiment.
Is it my spirit right here?
Those people's, yeah. And we know in Gaza, we know that the black pottery is found in that area. So I'm saying that there were bowmen who went to that area, or Nubians who went up the mountain and went into that area too, and even higher. They might have got smashed and pushed back down or killed, but they did go up there. We know the black top pottery is in that area. Can I continue, or you want to touch that?
And this making this show sound crazy.
Okay, well, I don't want your show to sound crazy, so I'll stop.
I'm just saying because you making stuff up, family. Just
I'm not.
Respectfully.
You can research it. You can research it.
So and then when I ask how to research it, you where are the sources for this? Where's the source to say anything you said?
This is exploratory research coming from archaeology rather, not architect.
You
archaeology.
did say that in the beginning, so you said just what you think. I feel you. Right. But I just be thinking people base what they think on something than just a hunch.
Yeah. Well, this is a hunch. This is not something made up. This is not something. This is what you call hypothesis or educated. This is taken from all the information that I've learned and putting this forth, not even just Kemetic or quote unquote Egyptian. I'm taking Nubian. I'm taking even going back into the 6,000, 8,000 years ago, how the what we call it, the rivers how the cultures conjoined. They came together, the confluence, that word that, so many people had issues with. But I want to continue because I got you two here, and I'd love for you to continue to beat it up or just see where I'm going with this and just see what you think. Oh, appreciate it. All right, so we have the next city is Gemet, right? Gem-T. I'm gonna say found land that was found. As they're moving down this river from the 5th, which we call it, or the 6th, even further down, even lower.
Say found land, bro. You know how
Gemet, Gem-T.
I guarantee you, I can prove it. Don't say found land.
It does not. It says.
Real quick, because I know you know the answer, Reggie. But I want him to show himself the answer. Watch this. Please, Patah, read it in Medu Neter.
Gem-E-Tet. And Gem, or check it out.
No, Gem, you gotta read
actually
it. No,
in Medu.
Okay,
in Medu Neter. Okay,
if
in
you
Medu
read
Neter.
it properly, you're gonna see the answer. The
Gemet
last,
and
you
Ra.
say etet at the end. That ain't what that word say.
Gemet and Ra.
It say atin.
Or Gemet at.
Now you know what the atin is, right?
Aten. Of course, right.
And
right.
you know
right.
what gimme means.
Right.
So now what do it say?
Right. Found son, if you ask me.
Now, why wouldn't you read it first if you know the language?
Because that is commission or comedic, and I'm still looking at it from both angles, from comedic and either Meriwethic or older.
I can understand that, and then you gotta address the periodization. Merodic ain't around at the time when they was calling Kawa Gimti Aten.
Right, and now check this out. When they call that Kawa, I say that's water spirit.
But see, Kawa is now we in the Arabic, my family.
I understand, but, well, I ain't gonna say but. I'm not going to add to that because there were reasons. I mean, there's reasons why some of these words that they add to it or they change it to relate to what the original meanings were.
So now you see when you read it, you said exactly what Chris just wrote. You do got the knowledge, but you're trying to bring us something new, which is honorable. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody want to make a new contribution, but it's certain like processes you got to go through.
Right, and I understand. And that's what Europe was breaking down to me during our when I presented this in the Discord. So let's leave because Gemet is a more conflicted one, right? From my reference, right?
Which one?
Gemet Gem-Aten.
It's not even Gemet.
They messed that up. This person couldn't read.
It's not even that.
It's found son.
Gem-Aten, yeah.
Right.
It could be created in the classifier might be time. So it could be created in the time of Aten. These are Egyptological.
That's true. It could be.
These are Egyptian naming when they got hold of these or got knowledge of these territories. These are not ancient to necessarily the original inhabitants.
Yeah, we don't know if the inhabitants called it that.
Right.
I agree. Okay, I agree. All right, so then can we continue?
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right, so then we got Kerma, right? And I'm saying, instead of Kerma, I'm saying Ka Iri Ma.
You said what?
What?
Ka Iri Ma. Ka or Ma.
Is your first sound starting with an H?
No, K-A.
Ka, how are you putting a ka on a word when it ain't no ka in the ancient Egyptian on the screen? I'm gonna make this
I'm not reading the Arabic word.
Oh, you reading Kerma?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Meta Netra is in.
Okay, it's plural. The Meta Netra. This is where when I go to the Meta Netra, this is what I say for the Meta Netra. Inbu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is another gold city, right? Neb and the plural. And those Serex or Keds or brick structures or walls around that gold, right? And then
gold?
Man, he's just
Neb.
making stuff up.
Around the Neb.
See, here's the thing, and I can see where you be making the mistake. You gotta get comfortable with your point of reference being the Medu Netra, bruh. Your point of reference is this N and this B in the transliteration that you clearly can't find nowhere in the Medu Netra. See what I'm saying? So if this transliteration is your point of reference, then you're going to tell us, look, the N, the B, and we looking at the glyphs, like, what are you talking about?
All right. So my point of reference in this case where they put the Nbu is Kerma had a lot of gold, right? If you do the research on, remember I told you when you said, you brought up Dookie Gale, why don't you do a presentation on Dookie Gale? And I was like, let me see. So I went started the research on Dookie Ghetto.
I'm with you. It might be
And
there,
it took
but,
me.
but you
and it-
making a word out of you're ignoring the
Okay.
I on the beginning.
All right, so check. All right, so check this out.
This is the coast city of Anubis.
Let me finish.
Impu.
Let me finish. So in the Meta Neter, you got 3 Sureks, and then you have Amen, M, Ket, and Hot.
Those are not Sureks.
I mean, that's what.
These are just walls.
Well, okay. I said it could be Sureks or Keds.
You know, every time you see this as a wall, my brother, you seen it in Memphis, right?
I said they were brick walls. So we're not saying anything I didn't say.
Surek is something different. That's a palace. But go ahead.
It can be, I think. I mean, I know it's mainly when we see Sureks, it's considered a temple or a palace. All right, so we got Amen, M. I'm looking at that when I say Amen and woman. I'm looking at that as man and woman, or family, or yeah.
It's a king. It's a king.
You're looking at that as.
That's a king. That's Amenemhet.
I know it's in the Shanu.
But it's a king that's referencing a king.
Amenemhet.
It's a city of
walls.
walls.
What does his name mean?
Amenemhet. So you know what Amen mean, right?
Yeah, the God. Yeah,
but see, this is what I'm only doing. I'm not even gonna tell you because I know you got this knowledge. So tell me, what does Amen mean?
Men is
you could be talking about the nature or hidden. But
right.
Normally in the name is the nature. You know what the M preposition represents, right?
Right. It could be several things, but yeah, I say and or is, but in this case I'm gonna say is.
Okay. Well, then what about hot? You remember hot?
And I look at that as a female.
Oh, that's the foremost or in front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
if you want it to be a female, based on what? You feel me?
Men is a man. Hot and top Venus, hot.
Okay.
Men and hot.
So the king's name was man and woman?
No, that the people that's a residence of a city or a nation, not a nation, but a place of this is kind of where it kind of grew. Men and women flourished there.
I feel you. You don't really want to read. You just want to chill. I feel you sometimes.
And check this out. This is my last one. Then since we want to kill it. So Amara, right? I'm looking at it as Ma'ir. This is where. Okay, let's go to the Meta Metro. I'm not going to look at the
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go to the. So we got the her or the house, and then we have and you can say coming forth or how we want,
So those are 2 different uses. So you want it to be a house or you want it to be coming forth?
Well, let's see. So
it's going to be a house because it got the single stroke per and not a T under it.
Okay. So then in the Shanu it has Ra Masu Ra Masu Mary Amen, right? So I'm looking at this is where the Ra culture and the Amen cultures joined houses to one house. This is that bull culture Reggie always talks about from the Western Desert and the people that were coming up from the South. All these Southerners, these Nahesi, this is where they joined, right? They came together.
So if you looking at it like this and you not talking to us, you teach it like this, huh?
No, I don't teach it. This is something I'm just coming into.
Building with some of your people, like, hey, you be doing them glyphs. This is what you would say.
No, I said this is exploratory. Remember in the Discord, I put forth and I asked
you did say it was a theory in the beginning. I remember. I know you know how to read it for real. Like if you was walking through a museum, you're gonna read it the academic way, but this is just your theory, correct?
Correct.
But that's totally everybody's allowed that. Like what the hell? I got hella those, but I proved my shit. I ain't never gonna just say I'm just saying.
That's why I wanted to bring it in front of Chris Reggie. I put everybody's name in everybody, the whole Discord, and you know the ones that the individuals I know that stay in the Meta Nature heaven, right?
Okay, so now say you had got us to agree with all of your translations right here. What does it lead to?
Well, the overall understanding was it gave more weight to the South and how when we read the text, how those how the grouping was, how the Eastern Hill people, the Southern people, or you want to say Southern caste people, and the or the people that came way from down south, from the mountains of the moon, or from Uganda, or from the E1B1B. If you want to add that, from when Ethiopia,
so
Omo
cutting
Valley,
to the chase,
and then from
if
the
you
west.
I ain't cutting you off, but I heard you, and I think this might be a yes. Tell me if I'm wrong. If I could title the thesis like you was doing a dissertation, it's gonna say something about the mountain and the moon in the title.
No,
it ain't.
No, it would be more the gathering of.
I mean,
the
well,
South.
it's the mountain of the moon or that place is central to this thesis.
No, I would say the gathering of the South.
Oh, excuse the way I said it. I'm talking about the geographical location by Lake Tana or whatever.
Oh no! The Lake Tana and the Uganda mountains. That would just be where some of the folks or some of the humans migrated from.
Okay.
And not just the Western Desert.
Okay.
Right. Some of the ancestors. Remember when what's the UCLA doctor that you had on the show, and he said when we were breaking down the Camus, come on,
Man,
Smash.
I mean, I don't remember who was that.
Oh, you okay? But anyway, he mentioned that he said you might find this interesting, and it's instead of it saying Curry or her, it was giving a reference to ancestors, like further back, further back, giving a reference to reference to ancestors.
Just a few things that I want to ask you that might help. What is your understanding of Arabic's relationship to the ancient Egyptians' language?
Then I would hit you with Negro. What do they call it? Is it Negro? Or it was Afro-Asiatic. Then I would hit you with Afro-Asiatic.
Oh, okay. You saying they're related via the breakdown of Afro-Asiatic?
Yeah.
That they're in the same language file.
Yeah.
Okay. And there are some points of Arabic, like the way they form nisbas.
Right.
Ancient Egyptian formed nisbas same way.
Now if we move the map up a little bit, now we're getting into kind of the reason I felt. Yeah. We're done with Armada. Not Armada. We're done with what was that? Because a lot of times we get that confused with
Amarna. This is
Amara.
Amara.
Yeah. I do the same thing.
Thank you. I keep saying Amarna. That's a different place.
Well, I'm not going to go further with
go ahead. I can
extrapolation.
Do what you're doing. So look, when he stepped on them, right?
No, that's not what I'm doing. Don't do that. Now you're being funny.
So when he
stepped,
the king stepped right here.
No,
right?
that is not what I'm doing.
All right.
Don't do that. See. So you got
EK. So just do these. Do these for me.
Do these. I think in these, I don't know enough information on them. I know Noctiplier and Nakata and Napata, Noctiplier, and what's the other place? Old place, not where Crystal. No, to the west.
You want me to go back on the map?
If you open it, no, not back, but open it up a little. No, open it up a little. I mean, zoom out.
Barkle?
No, it's gonna be on the west. Zoom out. No, not the east, the west. Yeah. Zoom out. No, go up.
Above Amarna.
Yeah, Napata Playa is what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
So Napata Playa, Napata.
Playa.
Well, yeah, Neb again. Neb.
No, you know you got that Napata Playa shit from listening to too many fake science motherfuckers.
Well,
look, Nab Ta Playa.
Right, but in reality, could it be Neb Ta? And we know a playa is a desert.
Whatever it is, it ain't Napata Playa because this ain't ancient Egyptian.
Well, that's the way we.
This ain't ancient Egyptian, remember? So we don't have to add no sounds that we don't see. This is coming from the Arabic.
What is Nab? What is Nabta?
Nabta? That's a good question. A playa is like a plateau, though.
I thought a playa was a desert. But okay.
Let me grab that and see if it say plateau.
Yeah, grab them.
See if it say plateau.
Because
area that's flat, dried up in a desert basin where water evaporates. It ain't a plateau.
It's a desert.
You want me
So
to
what
do
is
Nabta
that?
too?
Yeah, do that too. And you might have to. You may have to relate it to Egypt.
I'm gonna put deaf after it. Nabta refers to Nabta Playa, so that's just the regional name of it. You know what I mean?
Show more or ask it better, because it may know, but if we don't ask it,
So look, a temporary lake or a playa. I'm gonna look for etymology. But keep going. We know it's not ancient Egyptian. But yeah,
All right, so I'll
he
keep
said
going.
play that link. What link? Oh, let me click this. He told me to play this link.
There are countless sources located between Lake Victoria.
You can't see my screen, huh?
Whose link is that?
This James.
Oh, okay. Yeah. James, this refers to where Dr. Ben. This refers to where Dr. Ben talked about the mountains.
Let's see.
There are countless sources located between Lake Victoria, its tributaries, and the mountains of the Western Rift Valley. The valley is flanked by the mysterious.
I can't make it full screen.
And they say Lake Victoria. We know that's a British name.
I'm
and
it back. Yeah, we know, but let's listen. I messed it all up, bro. And it's stuck. The way it's in my screen, I ain't got no control over it. I gotta press escape. There we go. Let me go back one time and get it from James and just let it play.
There are countless sources located between Lake Victoria, its tributaries, and the mountains of the Western Rift Valley. The valley is flanked by the mysterious Rwenzori Range. The blanket of clouds lifts briefly, revealing some of the highest peaks.
I need to say something real quick for YouTube. Give me a stress, Nike. All right.
In Africa, the glaciers in this range are one of the Nile's most important water sources. Even the ancient Greeks knew about snow-capped mountains in the heart of Africa.
And then we walked to the store and went down the street.
On the world's earliest maps, they called them the Mountains of the Moon.
So you know why you do that? Because they find out what you're playing with text readers, and if you inject some different text in there, they throw it off and you can play the video. Oh, now they do it with music too. So all right, so the Mountain of the Moon. Now I understand that this video substantiates that there was an African tradition that called the mountain of the moon. But this video doesn't place that idiom or statement or phrase in the Medu Neter. And I didn't say you said it did, James, but I just was making the point for everyone to see that, yes, I think we know Africans called it that, right?
And those mountains are in Uganda.
Well, I can't do a soup along with the day. I appreciate you for coming through though, and helping me out, just like Brother Reggie earlier. And you said, wait, is you gonna have a presentation?
No.
Man, that right there, man, I don't be wanting to be too hard. Y'all, man, we got this the softest YouTube ever. Golly, it be so sensitive on my channel.
What?
You can't even tell nobody they ain't right.
Oh, no, I know. I'm fine with not being right. I mean, if it's not right.
They be mad at you, won't holler at you for 6 months, huh? Patah gonna be like, smash, make me sick.
Nah, at all. You know I don't do that.
I'm just playing, bro. I'm guilt tripping you. I'm guilt tripping you right
Not at all, bro. You know me.
Yeah, but I appreciate y'all on some real man shit. Thanks for coming through, always building and being willing to contribute. I appreciate that more than anything. I'm gonna close this down. You got some last words?
Nah, just enjoying what you're doing. Keep building. Glad you're back on the I say Kemetic knowledge or African knowledge.
We still ain't found a subject to make our research question for the semester, so we're going over old stuff. Once we get the new, y'all can think what the research question we should try to get to the bottom of for these next 6 months. And we could we could talk about that only and look at all the sources on that and everything. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I appreciate you. I'm about to close this down. I'm gonna close it down with the final episode of Fremore Jones. Peace. Yeah, they be getting all sensitive over here. Then they go on other people's shows and just let them beat the brakes off them. I be listening. I be like, dang, on my show, cats all uptight. Over there, the motherfuckers would say, shut up, get back there, and everybody laughing at you. I be like, I know that never happened on my show, ever. All right, come on, we're going to go into the collections because I do want to still get this knowledge and information out. So what happened with Fremore Jones had entered he entered into the saloon, he talked to the people, and he hooked up with the girl. He found out he was close to Rancho de los Americanos, right? But dude had told him it was some Mormons out back. So we're going to go to episode 2 and see how Fremore Jones handled that. Watching Peace, Smash Rockwell Show. Oh, hell no, it looked like I just froze. Did it freeze? Look at my image froze. But how that happened? And then the video don't even want to play something. Right.
On the last episode of Tally Ho, the sheriff caught up with Fremore Jones behind the saloon after he knocked out and shot the Mormon priest. But see, the sheriff had another thing coming. And what you're about to learn about Tally Ho and Fremore Jones may change the way you think about old
hold on. Running from a question. Whose question? Amir? Where's Amir? From the Amir question? I don't see. Is it a person named Amir? Oh, you asked the question. Let me see. The Knob Deploy Archaeological Site's one of. No, I don't know. I try not to run from no question because if I don't know how to answer it, I'll just tell you I don't know. Right? If there was an actual trade route from east to west, Reggie could tell you more about that. One went east to southwest, but I don't know about the trade route that goes from east to west. Hey, let's do that whole normal question on the next episode. We could have a whole episode about that Babylon, Don. But right now, I don't.